Mad Money Man here, and today we're discussing why crypto will make many overnight shock millionaires very soon. Yeah. Special thanks to these patrons. Very special thanks to these patrons. Sharky, Mickey Turner, Robs, Venturas, Hansky, Joshua Flores, Levi Abram, RJ, Rebecca Anderson, Gabrielle Prince, FA Crusader, Scott Venman, Samir, Damani, MGTOW, Kiosk, AWOL, David Hera, Blue Mass Monster, Link Neurons, EB, Timothy, and I will get the other names added back on shortly. I'm in my office right now, and I'm actually recording using my microphone, which I think makes things sound a lot clearer. So, and cheers to that. I have a nice big cup of coffee with me. Like literally, I've got this huge mug of coffee. All right, this is like a. This is how many ounces? This is a 1.5 liter cup, a huge cup, and like it's halfway filled with coffee. So there's like let's say like let's say like 3/4 of a liter. Here, it's not bad. Really, really good. Really, really good. All right, so this is where things get really interesting. Crypto will make many overnight shock millionaires. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this because a lot of people don't seem to understand why. So during the original Bitcoin bull run in 2017, a lot of people became very wealthy. Although you do have to realize that there are people who were becoming wealthy off crypto well before that. Now, this bull run is going to be much larger. Much larger than anything we've seen yet. I want you to consider something, all right? That the entire global market is something, it's in the like quadrillions of dollars, all right? When you think about how much like tangible assets actually exist, bank money, and physical money in the economy, paper that's actually printed. This thing is like, I think it was like less than $100 trillion, maybe around 58 trillion. All right, sorry, somewhere around there. 70 trillion. Now, and then think about this very carefully, and that's only a small portion of the overall wealth, all right? It's in the quadrillions. The total wealth on planet Earth is in the quadrillions, all right? Now consider this. The Bitcoin, no, let me correct myself. The cryptocurrency market is only just worth just around $100 billion right now. It is tiny compared to any of these other markets. Tiny, all right? $100 billion sounds like a lot to many of you. You have to understand, when you compare it to when you compare it to gold, to fiat currency, any of the, when you compare it to the overall markets, derivatives, for example, it is tiny. When the stock markets crash, institutional investors are going to rush to safeguard their wealth and resources anywhere they can. Many of you are saying, well, gold and silver are great options. There's not enough gold and silver to go around. In fact, you might see run on the banks happening as a result of people wanting gold and being given crap, fiat currency. Because, here's the interesting thing about these gold bonds. And here's the interesting thing about these investments when you're trading futures, okay? You can't actually redeem those for gold. Okay, like if you're trading gold futures, you can only cash out in dollars. You heard me right, dollars. You have to cash out in fiat currency. All right? It's like, so imagine the currency goes to crap, and it's essentially they're forcing you to take dollars, and if you try to convert that money to, let's say, something like yen, you're going to be screwed. You lose like half the value. And you're like, no, I want the actual gold. And they're like, yeah, you're not getting it. There's none. They're like, literally, there is no gold here. And they're so serious. Like, there's literally no gold, because the entire futures market that trades gold is something like 3 times or 4 times larger. It's like the amount of gold trading on the futures markets right now is like 3 or 4 times more than the actual gold in existence in the United States. It's some ridiculous number, all right? There's like 3 to 4 times more gold trading than actually exist. 3 to 4 times more gold trading on these markets that actually exist, all right? What are people going to do? They're going to turn to cryptocurrency. And cryptocurrency is very different than these traditional coins, because traditional forms of asset, because you can move it around the world at lightning speed. It is censorship resistant. There are so many different ways that you can utilize this, all right? Like I said, when Venezuela collapsed, okay, people immediately started turning to Bitcoin. It is a case study for Bitcoin. There's so many people that are saying, oh, well, if the lights go out. Let me explain how power plants work to those of you that don't understand this concept. Most power plants are able to run themselves with minimal intervention, okay? So they're not going to, the power is not going to completely go out. You're absolutely wrong about that. It did not go out in Venezuela, and it's not going to just go out in the United States, all right? It's not just going to happen like that. It's absolutely ridiculous. The only people, you know who it's going to go out for? It's going to go out for people who can't pay their bills. That's who the power is going to go out for. It's going to go out for people who can't pay their bills. You know, I've said this before that, you know, the collapse is going to look kind of like this, where on one side, like on one side of the road, you have people singing Christmas carols, and on the other side of the street, you have like a group of people that look like something out of The Walking Dead. All right. That's all there is to it. Society isn't going to collapse. I've said that before. Groups of people within society are going to collapse. When the economic collapse hits, the global economic collapse hits, you need to understand that people are going to there's going to be more millionaires created during that period of time than at any other point in human history. More than likely. It's going to be the largest transfer of wealth in human history, the largest, okay? I've been thinking about this, that right now I'm sitting on some interest in cryptocurrency. And the truth of the matter is that with a lot of these coins, a lot of people like myself will potentially end up becoming millionaires overnight. Me, maybe not necessarily, but it's very feasible. Very, very feasible. Sharky, millionaire overnight. A lot of these people, Mickey Turner, a lot of these people will end up becoming millionaires overnight just from very small investments. And a big part of that will be like, you know, some guy who bought like $10 in like this coin that was worth next to nothing, you know, back in like a few years, like in 2018 or 2017. And then, you know, suddenly years later, they forgot all about it. And now they're like, what the hell? These coins are worth like $500,000. I'm telling you, it's literally going to be that frightening. Or some kid who spent their college tuition to, you know, they spent some of their tuition money to buy a ton of coins, about some coins, a couple $100, and they just forgot about it because, you know, it went down to nothing during the crash, and literally overnight, those coins are now worth, you know, like $100 a coin. And they have like thousands of them. So now these kids are like, they're just like, what the heck is going on? You guys have to understand that It's going to be insane. AP 530 says, oh my, that was an ad. I thought it was you showing a vid. Oh my gosh. You guys saw an ad? Gosh. Let me see here. Bachelor says gold and silver never loses its value. Do you understand that gold and silver are kind of centralized right now, and that only a very small group of people actually have gold and silver? All right, it's so painful that so many people don't understand this concept. Gold and silver is very, very centralized because it is in the hands of a very small group of people. Gold and silver cannot become the new standard. There's not enough of it. It is so painful. I mean, I don't know what people are thinking, that people are going to walk around with bags of gold and silver. First off, there's just not enough of it to do that like in the old days, right? And if they tried to do something like that, it basically be like fiat currency all over again, with small amounts of gold and small amounts of silver, inserted into the coin, into the currency itself. Because at no point they could not actually. They're not going to be able to actually give you like gold and silver coins, I mean, it's insane that some people actually think that we can return to the days where people were walking around with bags of gold and silver. That's something that you might see like in places like the Middle East, where they still kind of do stuff like that, but it's just so unrealistic. I don't know who in their right mind is thinking this. Gold and silver is not something you can use on a daily basis for transactions. All right. Yes, there are places where they use it, like you go to the duty free at an airport and you can pay with gold. And again, those are the exceptions, not the standard. All right. Oh, we're gonna weigh the gold to determine this. Gold is not something that you're just going to use in that way. People are insane. Cryptocurrency is going to take that spot. Bitcoin is going to take that spot. AP 530 says it quite well in the chat. The markets and economy are too big now. There's not enough gold. Crypto is a great alternative to get into. Exactly. And not only is it a great alternative, but it provides security, significant security that gold and silver cannot provide. It also provides a mechanism that allows it to traverse even today's banking standards, where you can move money from one person to another in anywhere from a couple of hours to a couple of minutes, while from one country to another, from one end of the earth to another. I can move, for example, let's say I want to send someone a couple $100 and I send it in Ethereum. I send them a couple $100 of Ethereum to their Coinbase wallet, and I pay the gas fee. I put the gas fee as pretty high. Like I spend like $1 for the gas fee, not even $1. I spend 30 cents for the gas fee. And that's enough to move that Ethereum within literally seconds. Within like 30 seconds, it's done or less. All right. And it's in that person's wallet. And the confirmations are finished within maybe 15 minutes or so. And they have access to it in their wallets. They can immediately swap it for Bitcoin, and then they can go to an ATM and withdraw those funds using a Shift card, because you can actually attach a debit card directly to your Coinbase account. That is something that has actually happened. That is where we're at right now. I use cryptocurrency cards, and I can go to the ATMs and withdraw money from using cryptocurrency cards. But people don't seem to understand this. It's really painful. It's really, really painful that a lot of people don't seem to understand this. Caffeinated Bachelor says caffeinated beverage. So you're going to see the largest transfer of wealth occur, and you're going to see many overnight shock millionaires pop up because of the investments that they have in cryptocurrency. All right, the same people that are being called idiots right now for investing are going to be the same people that everyone is marveling at and treating like an expert. And the irony, the sad thing is that these people will technically be experts because everyone's going to be struggling to learn. And here's the funny thing. All the people that learn on their own right now, All the people that are learning on their own right now and doing it the hard way, they're the people who are going to be experts in cryptocurrency. Those of you who are going on and, for example, purchasing the course on crypto money academy, you're the ones who are going to be the experts in cryptocurrency. Because there's going to be so many. Let me tell you about one of the big cryptocurrency scams that you're going to see. You're going to see them popping up at universities. Because right now, the big jobs right now are in blockchain. Okay, blockchain developers are a big thing, and it's going to continue to being a big thing. If you're a blockchain developer, they're going to pay you tons of money. All right. And and that big thing is going to be going to school to learn how to become a blockchain developer. Okay, and to be very clear, to become a blockchain developer, you shouldn't be going to school. You should actually be opening up the software and learning how to write code in the software. But nope. You're going to have all these fools foolish enough to go and try to get a degree in blockchain, all right? So they can end up working for someone like me or Sharky, of all things. You've got to be kidding me, all right? Guess what? You're going to go and get your master's in blockchain so that you can go work for a former truck driver that never went to college. You know? Seriously. All right? And guess what? He's going to be checking your work too. Guys, you have to be realistic, all right? You have to be realistic and you have to be very serious. As I said before, if you haven't picked up a copy of if you have not gotten the course yet, the cryptocurrency course yet, you need to get it. You need to learn everything you need to know right now, because if you miss out on this opportunity, you're not going to get another one. All right. And what's very sad is when it starts, when cryptocurrency shoots up and it takes off, you're going to have everyone, like all these people saying, now is the best time to get in. And I'm thinking to myself, that's the worst time to get in. You guys are now too late. You should have gotten from the very beginning. A few of you may get in, make some money, but you're not going to make the kind of money that you could have made if you had gotten in early. All right. If you had gotten in now. It's, and the learning curve is going to stomp a lot of people. A lot of people are not going to be able to pull it off because of the massive learning curve. Another very important thing to say is that there's a lot of changes happening in cryptocurrency every single day. The technology is changing every single day. The technology is changing rapidly. So for people that are in crypto right now that know how to use the system, they're learning, when something new comes along, for example, the Lightning Network with Bitcoin or BTC, they can understand how that works and what this stuff is. And when new features and requirements come along to use crypto, they can understand how to utilize these very quickly because they still have the foundation there. But guess what? For people that are just coming into blockchain, they're going to be completely lost. They're not going to know what the heck to do, all right? It's going to take them a long time to get caught up, and then they're going to have to spend tons of money to find a so-called expert to teach them or do it for them. Like, there's going to be a lot of people who just are paying other people to purchase cryptocurrency for them. All right. There's going to be a lot of people that literally are paying other people just to they're going to be going to brokers. A lot of people are going to be using brokers, literal brokers, like the what do you call those? The boomers, doomers. They're going to be using brokers to purchase cryptocurrency. Brokers, people who are going to go to Bitcoin and go to Coinbase.com, purchase $100 worth of Bitcoin for these doomers, and then sell it back to them for $200. Okay. $100 of Bitcoin and then sell it back to them for $200 because you got to cover those administration fees. Don't be that guy. All right. Don't be that guy. This is the course right here, Introduction to Cryptocurrency. I've showed this to you a number of times. It's $100. The price is going to be going up on it very soon. I'm going to be raising the price. This is a $500 course. It's going to be going up. It's going to be going up in very soon. You're going to learn, you're going to understand how crypto works, how to purchase and use crypto. You're going to learn how to store it and the different kinds of cryptos. This is a full curriculum, what crypto is, distributed ledger, what gives cryptocurrency value, how is cryptocurrency created, how to store it again, using cryptocurrency and purchasing it, introduction to decentralized apps, crypto and Internet of Things, initial coin offerings. You need to know how those work, the different kinds of cryptocurrency. Again, there's things like security coins, equity coins. There's security coins, equity coins, and utility coins, and there's even other kinds of coins. Like Bitcoin isn't even one of those. You need to know the differences, cryptocurrency and investing strategies, and of course the importance of consistency and persistence. You're going to see why that's so important, because like I said, blockchain is hard, and if you try to get in, if you just try to jump into blockchain, you know, when everything is taking off, you can get robbed. I've lost hundreds of dollars. I've been scammed out of hundreds of dollars. When I first got in, I lost hundreds of dollars because I did not understand so much of this stuff. All right. So you don't want that to happen. I've put everything right in that course for you so that you can understand the foundations. You can learn how to protect your assets. You can learn how to protect your resources, because it's literally the Wild West out there. I mean, you literally have hackers going absolutely nuts over crypto right now. So you want to understand this. You don't want to just enter the market. You don't want to just jump into crypto and think you're going to be okay. You will not. You will not. Okay, I'm just telling you right now. All right, maybe like a very few handful of you may, if even that, maybe like one of you. You will not. Crypto, don't. If you take cryptocurrency lightly, you will get eaten alive. All right, you need to do your homework. Don't try to dilly-dally. Don't try to dance around it. Do your homework. So definitely, if you want to get that course, the course is at coin. You can. It's the course is at cryptomoney.academy, and the link is in the description of this video. All right, it's cryptomoney.academy. Go and get it. Go and sign up for it. Start learning about crypto. Learn all the lessons that you need to learn so that you can actually make a real difference. Okay, so that you can make a real difference in your life. All right, and not miss out on this opportunity, because it's going to be much larger than the .com bubble. All right, cryptomoney.academy. All right, that's the name of the website where you can get the crypto course. And also, I have another announcement for you guys. Let me see here. Crypto introduction course. So I'm just add it on the screen so you can see it right there. I have another announcement for you guys. For those of you that have been on the fence, keep in mind that on my Patreon, I post tons and tons of crypto information, tons and tons of guides, my choice, my picks, all of that stuff. So there's actually only three left on the $30 crypto tier, and then after that, to access the information on that tier, you'll actually have to be a $50 member. So you'll actually have to go with a $50 membership. There's only 3 spots left on that. So if you've been on the fence, then I really suggest you go and sign up, or you will end up, having to pay $50 because those tiers are filling up. There's only 3 spots left. There was a total of 30. There's only 3 left. So go and get that. Limited time. It's the truth. You can go and have a look. Let me see here. Guys, at the end of the day, nothing comes easy. Like anything that is anything that you think is easy in life, it's complete, it's not worth it. You really need to really need to invest, take the time to study and to grow. All right, and to gain the knowledge you need to succeed. I'm just being very honest with you. And as I said, do you know about EXP assets? Yeah, I know EXP assets. Yeah, I've heard that they're not exactly the best of companies. So as far as I can see, I'm not really down with them. Okay. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Bachelor says research first. Yeah, guys, like I said, and you don't want to go and try to put the information together off Google. Like, okay, I'm going to follow a guide on Google. You're going to regret it, because a lot of that information will either go over your head, or it's just plain wrong, or it's outdated or irrelevant. All right. Uh, Bachelor Cloud says caffeinated beverages. Well, yeah, it's caffeinated beverages. Doing caffeinated beverages, they help a lot. You know, they give you energy. Mm. I'll tell you guys something. As you're getting older, a lot of you guys, as you're getting older, you definitely start to feel changes. You know, the aches and the pains start to kick in. And I'm only in my mid 30s. I'm already feeling that. You know, guys, I'm telling you, you don't want to be struggling for money. You don't want to be struggling to survive when you get to when you hit 40. You know, I'll be 40 in just in less than in almost less than half a decade. And so about 5 years I'll be 40, less than 5 years at this point. And you know, you think about it, you don't want to be out there struggling, trying to just start your life at 40. There are some people who, you know, just basically, you know, like they struggled, but many people never make it. Like, if you know, because they wasted the opportunities that they had. You know, for example, these are people that could have invested in Microsoft back in the 80s. Oh, nope, they didn't. They could have invested during the dot-com bubble. Nope, they didn't. I mean, it was just like printing money at that point. And don't forget that after the dot-com bubble popped, the companies that survived then went on to become trillion, like billion-dollar companies, hundreds of billion-dollar companies. Amazon was born during the dot-com bubble, right? And it went on to become $100 billion, almost $1 trillion company. All right. So many of these companies, Google, went on to become almost $1 trillion company. Need I say more? Cryptocurrency is in the same region, and it's not like the tulip mania. You're literally going to have people using cryptocurrency in the place of fiat currency. Fiat currency, honestly, is gone. Fiat currency is gone. Like, the days of fiat currency are completely numbered. You guys, you know what's sad? You know what's really sad? And I feel bad saying this to a lot of you. When the dollar collapses, and I want you to understand this, when the dollar collapses, when the fiat currency collapses, when global currency collapses, all right, we're going to enter a world where, if let's say you have like $10, right? Let's say you have like $10 in your, like, let's say you have like money that you've been storing in your house. Like you're going to be old people that have, like, you know, like $20,000 stored in their homes. And guess what? That money is going to be completely worthless. All right. All of those green bills, the government's not going to redeem it. If you think that the government is going to give you cryptocurrency, once the central banks switch over to a blockchain standard, you think that they're going to give you cryptocurrency in exchange for the useless fiat dollar? They can't. You know the reason why? Because they've printed so many of them that they have no intrinsic value. It's almost like an unlimited supply of useless money versus the block versus crypto that is limited in supply. So in this scenario, they're not gonna give you money for them. You're done. All right, people who saved their entire lives and thought that they were like gonna beat the system by stashing away the greenbacks or even or euros, they're gonna be screwed, because it's gonna that paper money is going to be worth literally nothing. Bachelor Cloud says, I'm getting to 40s, and the tip of investing young was good advice. Yep. You know, let me tell you guys something. I'm going to tell you guys something right now. All right? I don't want to say I'm panicking, but I am very, very well aware of the circumstance and of what's coming. You know, a big part of the reason why I dropped all the labels recently is because I realized that it's a distraction. It's a distraction. Guys, I don't, you know, many of you listening right now, you've never experienced homelessness before. Some of you have, but many of you haven't. Maybe you've come close, but you've never fully experienced being homeless, sleeping on the street with rats and roaches crawling around you, not knowing if you're going to survive and live through the night because someone could kill you while you are asleep. It is a very, very scary thing to go through. And I constantly say every day, please God, never let me see that ever again, that life ever again. It was horrible. All right. It was terrible. But part of it is I needed that lesson. It taught me something. It taught me I never want to go there ever again. For me, that's my rock bottom. I never want to go to that rock bottom again. And that's the reason why I push so hard and why I'm moving, because I realize that this is a distraction. Everything that's happening, feminism is all of this crap that's happening around us, complete distraction. All right, MGTOW, complete distraction. All of it is a complete distraction. All right, guys. Anyone who is, it's so funny. There's right now we're doing this stream. There's like 18 of you watching, and it's funny before I draw. If this was like a few days ago. If this was a few days ago when I still had the MGTOW, the MGTOW name attached to me, there would be maybe 100 people in here or 200 people in here watching, at least 80, all right? Maybe 200 people or more watching right now. But because I dropped the label and I'm not providing MGTOW entertainment anymore, which is basically just a distraction for a lot of you, all right? It's a distraction. These people have disappeared. So now what? They've gone to watch TFM or listen to Sandman or some other producer or some Miggy 101. And I'm thinking to myself, you guys don't get it, do you? We're in trouble. All right, you're sitting on your hands. Like this, MGTOW is about self-development and self-preservation. And a lot of these guys, it's probably 70% of these guys have just disappeared on me. Tito Duran says, Tito says, I'm 28 years young. I was homeless last year. AP 530 says, never been homeless on the street, but lived in a van for several months. And the thing is, for example, for those of you like Tito and AP, you guys know that living isn't great. It's for people who say, it's all right. You've got the police moving you. You've got people screwing with you. You've got some dangerous things happening. I remember I was out there and there was this crazy guy that was always going around, and he was just angry and mentally ill. And he just started getting off on me, going off on me one day. And I didn't know what to do. I did not know what to do because it was just crazy. I'm telling you guys, you don't want that life, all right? So if you want to, I actually posted a list, a huge list on Patreon earlier for the just like a few hours ago for the $30 crypto and wealth tier users. And it basically is a prepping guide, a prepping and a wealth guide. So basically it's a list of things that you need to prep, like the minimum you need to prep for the economic collapse. And also there's a list of how you can build wealth during the economic collapse. It covers a lot of things. It covers everything from cryptocurrency and the kind of cryptocurrency you should have so that you can make money. You can protect yourself during the economic collapse as well as make money. And then there's a bunch of other things, everything ranging from food and making money from that food, as well as being able to survive, down to other products that you'll be able to use for leverage. Bachelor Cloud says many MGTOWs don't focus on self improvement, and it's true. It's absolutely true. It's upsetting, to be very honest. It is really, really upsetting when I observe just how sad the community is, and I have no regrets going my own way from that community. But it's awful that I dropped the label, but I'm still going my own way, and I'm trying to teach men why. I'm saying, listen, I'm literally I'm not crying wolf. Okay, I have a pretty good track record. All right, especially when it comes to predictions. And like I said, I'm not a prophet. I hope God's speaking through me, but I just use as much common sense as I can to come to these conclusions. And the thing is that you've got people like, you know, you've got guys who would literally come to the stream and drop like $300. Okay, like they would drop like $300 on a stream just to hear me rant and rave for hours, all right? $300. This happened before. I think someone just like dropped $300 at one time, all right? Drop that much money just to hear me rant and rave. But then you've got these same people, as soon as it's not about ranting, as soon as it's about self-development, as soon as it's about improving your own life, it's about safeguarding your assets, your wealth, your resources, ensuring that you're taken care of during this collapse. Yeah, angry, I need to go do something else. I need to go watch some Sandman. Bro, pick up the crypto course. That sounds too hard, man. Bro, that sounds too hard. You know, I would rather just burn this money and see what happens afterwards. Again, like this. It's the complete attitude these days. It is a sad distraction. And you know what's funny? Like, I remember there was a guy a few weeks ago. Maybe it was a few weeks ago or a month or so ago. Somebody gave me a donation on stream for like, I think it was like $50 or more. And he basically said something like, I just want all the ladies watching this to notice that I just gave a guy named Angry Madman $50. All right. Like it's like we're like, that community has gone so downhill where a lot of people would rather throw away their lives, throw away their assets, throw away their resources, throw away their futures. Okay. And it's just about anger. It's not about self-preservation. It's not about self-development. It's just about anger and watching the world burn. All right. And the funny thing is, it's easy to say that you're all right with watching the world burn, but when you get caught, when you get caught on fire along with it, then suddenly it doesn't feel so good. Suddenly, you know, that survival instinct kicks in, at least into some of them, and they want to live, they want to survive, and it's like they have a bit of cognitive dissonance, because on one hand they're like, well, you know, it's like they don't want to resolve the fact that they chose to let this happen. They put themselves in this situation and they won't even accept it. And that's like another sad thing, because this so-called version of MGTOW is still about self-accountability, but a lot of these so-called MGTOWs are not even going to hold themselves accountable. They're going to blame someone else. They're going to blame soy. They're going to blame the soy guys. They're going to try to blame women. They're going to blame everyone but themselves for the circumstance and situations that they're in. And it's so sad. And it's just so sad. So sad. If I was covering a MGTOW video right now, I have 21 people watching, there would be over 200. There would be over 200 people here right now listening to this video with me ranting and raving and just going on and carrying on. And yeah, this is great, bro. This is awesome. This is great. But as soon as it comes down to working on yourself and self-development, they disappear. All right? As soon as it comes down to ensuring that you can actually survive, it's over. They want to lay down and close their eyes and hide and tuck themselves away. Thomas Boyd says, "Can you pay for your crypto academy by your PayPal account?" Yes. Yeah, so Thomas, yeah, that's correct. You can the Crypto Academy course, you actually can pay using using PayPal, or you can also pay using a credit card. I have it all set up. You can pay using Visa, MasterCard, and all that, or you can pay using PayPal. You can pay pretty much any payment method right now, except for crypto, ironically. You can use, yeah, Thomas. Yeah, you can do that. Thomas, you can pay using PayPal or pretty much any method. Yeah, I finally got the credit card aspect set up today on there. So you can use PayPal or you can use a credit card, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, I think American Express too. all of that. It's on there. Link Neuron says it really good in the chat. It's much easier to shake your fist than to scratch your head. You know, like, it's so funny because, like, this is the same thing. I tried to explain this to old Sharky, like months earlier. I tried to explain this to Sharky. I said, Sharky, listen to me, bro. You know, Sharky was putting himself down. He was beating up himself about, you know, his education, his background. And now he is basically an intermediate when he's right around an intermediate level when it comes to crypto. He's right around intermediate when it comes to crypto, to the point where he can actually comfortably discuss it. He's also pretty well versed when it comes to day trading fiat currency, although fiat's almost dead. But I mean, I think there'll still be some opportunities, but yeah, until it completely disappears. A couple of years. Yeah, like literally, guys, I think fiat currency is going to be gone over the next couple of years. It's going to complete. It's already gone in India, China. Fiat currency is like literally gone. Okay, fiat in Asian markets, places like Indonesia, it's going to be gone. It's going to completely be gone. All right, no more fiat currency. Everything is going to be around cryptocurrency, and you think that there's a lot of cryptos right now. Right now, there's like maybe 900 to 1,000 active cryptocurrencies worldwide. There's going to be anywhere from tens of thousands to millions of cryptocurrencies in the future. Millions. You heard me right. You think this is a joke? Guys, you're going to have universities are going to offer their own cryptocurrency. This is how you'll have universities trying to offer their own crypto. Harvard University trying to offer its own crypto. You're going to have universities or maybe a crypto across all of them. You're going to have all these micro-economies popping up as well. That's how Red Pill Coin was designed to be, a micro-economy, like a central, like an economy for that's niche economies. Bachelor Cloud says, I want to pay anonymously. Let me see here. Let me see. Wait. I mostly use cash or gift cards. I mean, you can get a debit card, I guess. You can get one of those debit cards from like Walmart or whatever, and use it to, temporary debit cards, and use it to buy the course that way. If you want to buy the course using anonymously, you can just get one of those debit cards, and cheap one of those debit cards from one of those places, from like the store, load it up with $100 and purchase the course that way. That's like the best option for you. I would load like 110 on there, because it's exactly $100. Yeah, load it up with $100 and purchase the course that way. That's going to be the best way to do it. If you want to do it anonymously, that's your best option. And I mean, even on PayPal, you can do it anonymously as well. If you just change the display name. Again, you're fine. No one's going to get your information. Blood Dragon says, would it be crazy to get into geopolitics and economics to build a MGTOW city? You're going to see it wouldn't be crazy to get into geopolitics and economics, because we're going to see more of that happening. You're going to see more of these micro cities, micro units popping up. The world is going to become a lot smaller in many ways, more decentralized and more micronized. All right, because basically it's going to be about breaking it up and everyone putting themselves into specific groups. Because right now you have all this government control, and you're going to basically have people literally putting themselves into groups to survive. Bachelor Cloud says, cash is just going to be the toilet paper in the future. It's so funny. You say cash is going to be toilet paper in the future, and I have to disagree. I have to disagree with that, because have you ever tried wiping? Have you ever tried wiping with money? It's terrible, terrible. All right, Greenbacks make terrible toilet paper. Toilet paper itself is going to be worth more than the useless greenbacks. You heard me right. All right, nobody's gonna wipe with toilet paper. You're gonna see useless greenbacks littered on the streets. No one's gonna pick it up. All right, useless greenbacks littered all over the street, and you're gonna have all these billionaires like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, all of these people quickly switching their funds over to Bitcoin and all these other cryptocurrencies and releasing their own. It's going to be crazy, but this is also, like I said, this is going to create massive amounts of wealth. And I honestly think that the market is going to jump to $1 trillion within a relatively short period of time, and then it's going to grow to probably somewhere around $10 trillion. And I mean, and even from 10 trillion, it's still pretty small. All right, still pretty small. I honestly think 1 trillion is going to happen within like the next couple of years. All right, within the next 5 to 10 years, we'll likely within the next 5 years, we'll probably jump to 1 trillion or close to it. All right, at least half that, but probably 1 trillion. And then over the next 20 years, the market will probably grow to about 10 trillion, or if not more, in cryptocurrency, maybe even as high as 20 trillion. And I might even be way underestimating it. It might even be as high as 100 trillion if like things like the derivative markets and other markets begin focusing on blockchain and using cryptocurrency to back though as a standard for those. Then yeah, it's the exponential potential of Bitcoin, of cryptocurrency in general, is so great right now because there's never been anything like it. The ability to store it, to move it, because of that, it's hard to predict the ultimate value of it. I mean, it's just going to keep increasing in value over time. So it's crazy. And here's another interesting thing about these cryptocurrencies. As people are passing away, there's going to be a lot of people who die. And when they die, those cryptocurrencies that wealth is going to disappear. There are going to be people with millions of dollars worth of cryptocurrency. All right. Maybe it wasn't worth millions when they passed away, but within a few years, like 10, 20 years, now that crypto is worth millions, tens of millions of dollars. It's happened with things like Bitcoin already, where there's like millions of Bitcoin that researchers have estimated are in accounts that are basically either people have lost the private key to them, or the people they may have even passed away. All right, and those coins will never be recovered, and those coins are equivalent to maybe billions of dollars, even potentially to almost tens of billions of dollars, given when depending on where the Bitcoin price sits at. I want you to really think about those factors very, very carefully. Dysfunctional says ghost coin. Tito says dead coin. Something about dead coin. Dead coins are actually not what you think. Tito says, how do you know this, Angry? I mean, because I've learned a lot. Tito says, you'll get paper cuts on your butt. Oh my gosh. Dysfunctional says switcho currency. You see here. Pedigree Farm says, similar to how the auto industry consolidated from hundreds of companies to only a handful today, I expect to see the same happen with crypto. Most coins are trash. That's where you're wrong. You see, here's the thing. While consolidation could potentially happen, it seems quite unlikely, because you have to understand that there are different kinds of coins. It's really hard. Guys, listen to me. You guys need to go and purchase the crypto. You need to go and many of you really need to go and purchase the crypto introduction, like introduction to cryptocurrency, because you guys don't understand cryptocurrency. You really don't. For you to say that it's going to consolidate to a handful of coins, that means you don't understand cryptocurrency. You really don't understand cryptocurrency. You're thinking of crypto almost more like fiat. There are different kinds of cryptocurrency. There are what we call equity coins. There are security coins, and there are utility coins. All right. And then there are other kinds of coins. For example, like I said, Bitcoin is not a security. It is not a utility, nor is it an equity. All right. So you have to understand that these different types of coins all mean different things, and they all have different uses, and they're related to different things. And as a result, many companies, especially large companies, can now essentially create their own cryptocurrency. So for example, let's say traveler miles. Traveler miles can now be stored as cryptocurrency. That's the potential for them. And people go to court over traveler miles. You turn traveler miles into cryptocurrency. You back cryptocurrency by traveler miles, and you make that equivalent to traveler miles. Those traveler mile coins, guess what, can now end up being worth hundreds of millions, if not, let me correct myself, or billions of dollars. All right. It's really, really difficult. It's so difficult right now because that a lot of you guys just don't get it. All right. You really need to understand the different kinds of cryptocurrency before you start saying these things, okay? And saying that they're going to consolidate. Not like you think, all right? They're going to keep on expanding more and more and more. There's going to be a lot of places where you just can't, where you cannot, if you want to shop there, for example, let's say you want to shop on a certain site or use a certain service, you're going to have this specific coin, all right? And that's the only way you're going to get it. And how do you get it? You're going to have to go buy it from an exchange or buy it from the place, the issuer. And then after that, you're going to be using it. So guess what? Now that you begin using it, now you're into the ecosystem. And once you begin using it in that ecosystem, you're stuck. That's how it's going to happen. That's how Apple gets, it's like, Apple is going to trap people in, going to help use crypto to keep people locked into their ecosystem. It's the perfect thing to create ecosystems and keep people within specific ecosystems. And there's going to be a lot of people that want it that way. All right. You're going to have ecosystems in video games, like based around blockchain and crypto. You have that happening with a cryptocurrency called ETN right now, Electronium, where you have mobile games that are beginning to finally adapt ETN as a standard within their games. It's so frustrating. So frustrating. You guys, many of you are going to miss out on this opportunity. Many of you are going to miss out entirely because you don't understand cryptocurrency. You think that you're thinking of it more like fiat than anything else. All right. Sharky recently he sent me a message and he was basically saying, hey, AM, do you think that in the future, what it's going to be like is like people have like a bunch of different cryptocurrencies and they're like, okay, yeah, like I have this one, okay, I can give you a little bit of this one. All right, I'll take a little bit of that one. And, because again, they all have different purposes. It's so difficult, I mean, guys, it's hard. It's so hard that some of you just can't conceive it. There's a cryptocurrency called IOTA, which is developed around smart devices to help power the Internet of Things, all right? And the Internet of Things is very, very important. We're literally living where everything is becoming a part of the internet, where everything's becoming a part of the Internet of Things. But many of you just don't understand the basis of cryptocurrency. You're just thinking of it like fiat. You don't understand the foundation. When you understand the foundation and the utility, if you understand the different kinds of crypto, then you start to wrap your head around the power. In the guide, I mentioned things such as decentralized applications. One of the big promises with cryptocurrency are decentralized applications, all right? Which is another example. And you have to understand, you don't even know where cryptocurrency comes from. You don't understand the token system within cryptocurrency and the fact that it's not that easy just to get rid of it and to say that they're all going to consolidate, because they can't. And people won't want them to. You're going, just like how you have like political, like micro-political and microeconomic regions setting up and micro countries popping up, like people building their own islands. That's what it is. You're going to witness that. All right. Gee, I mean, like seriously, you're going to have many different groups having their own decentralized economies. Let me read what you guys are saying. Dysfunctional says, Petro might be a short-term good investment. What do you think, Angry? You see, I worry about the Petro a bit because of what they've done, but at the same time, I would pick up some Petro just to hold it. You know, like for example, I would invest something in the Petro. I'd probably invest like maybe like $100 or, you know, money that I'm willing to lose. I'd invest like $100 in the Petro and I'd let it sit because, you know, if Venezuela does emerge from socialism, if they do change their ways and the country does emerge from socialism, believe it or not, the Petro could potentially stabilize the country. If they do it right, and they don't, if they do it right, the Petro, I honestly do believe, could potentially stabilize the country because the Petro is now worth significantly more than the so-called Bolivar that's worth literally less than pennies, all right? So the Petro, I would invest maybe $100 in it, money that I'm willing to lose, money that I can throw away, because I honestly could potentially see some very, very big possibilities with the Petro. Oh boy, Dysfunctional says, I might do adult industry like Mr. Vicious. I mean, let me tell you something. My personal thought on, you know, adult industry stuff is this. As long as you're not out there, you know, cheating, you know, if you're cheating with someone, you know, cheating with someone's wife or husband, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with adult entertainment at all right? Because what are you doing? You are not breaking up families, you're not committing adultery. It's just what, fornication? And who says that it's wrong? Who says it's wrong? It's society that puts all these things on us and all these beliefs on us. You know, if you even want to go back to like the Ten Commandments, the Ten Commandments say don't commit adultery. It doesn't say don't fornicate. All right, it says don't commit adultery. I don't recall anywhere in there that says don't fornicate. All right. At the end of the day, it's a normal and natural thing between people. Okay. In fact, marriage did not truly exist. Marriage is something that only was done between the very wealthy. This is all right. You know, you had kings and queens and lords and powerful people. Those are the people that married so that they could, you know, broker peace deals or keep the wealth within wealthy families. All right. Those were the people that married. The average person never got married. You had hundreds, thousands of years, tens of thousands of years where there was no such thing as marriage. Okay? No such thing as marriage. Marriage is a very, very recent thing. A very recent thing that's come along, that's just recently come along in the last couple thousand years. Don't forget that. In fact, after the Dark Ages, from what I understand, marriage basically vanished yet again. Like the Dark Ages hit because, you know, like no-fault divorces destroyed the Roman Empire. The Dark Ages hit. We had about 1,000 years of really bad times. And think of it like this: living in caves and eating squirrel meat was kind of a thing again. Not to you know, also overlook the Black Death that almost wiped humanity off the face of the planet. All right. So just consider these things, and you know, marriage was gone. Like there was no marriage. Like if it was like men were going their own way. Men were going their own way for like 1,000 years. Like literally, men were going their own way for like 1,000. Like guys were going their own way for like 1,000 years. Thomas Boyd says, could crypto change the casino industry? Now you're using your head. See, Thomas, now you're using your head. Yes, crypto can completely change the casino industry. All of these industries are going, and you know the reason why they're going to have to apply a crypto standard? Because many of these industries, when the value of their money completely collapses, they're going to be forced to go to a crypto standard. They're going to be. All right. It'll not only that, but it will apply. You know, the government may even demand a crypto standard. It's going to be enforced because it'll create transparency. All right, and transparency is very important, as well as the ability to have multiple layers of protection and security and verification to prevent things like scamming and numerous other things. Blood Dragon says, have you ever thought the fact that you might be taken out if you ever try to build your own micro city? It would be too good to be true. I've thought about this before, and I've considered my whole micro city thing. It's like if I became like a crazy rich crypto millionaire with like $200 million, I'd probably try to build my own micro city. I might. I've thought about it. Like I would probably do it. I'd probably try to build a whole micro city, set it up, see if see if I can get some of you guys to come move out there and form my own little nation. The the truth is that don't forget that I'm not a part of MGTOW anymore. I am not a part of the MGTOW community, nor am I part of the MGTOW label. I am going my own way, but I'm also still an American. So I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting thing. I'm not, in many ways, I'm not hiding. I'm not hiding, and I'm really open. Even with a micronation, I would be open to working with the US and trying to basically creating a place where, all right, so for example, you have something like Puerto Rico that is a territory of the United States, but they still have their own rules, regulations, and policies there. So, we could potentially create a micronation that could potentially be a territory, considered a territory of the US, but we would still have control over that territory, so for example, we can declare ourselves technically a sovereign nation, but we would still have protection by the United States or the respective countries that we are closest to, because but we would agree to, but by brokering a deal to pay a certain amount of taxes and so forth. It always comes back to tax money. There's basically it's all about making a deal. It's all about making a deal, and in that way, you can potentially have a country of your own where everyone is essentially still paying taxes, but at the end of the day, you don't have the government control telling you what to do, what you can't do, pushing a political agenda on you. As long as they're getting their money, they don't care. Because that's all it comes back to, them getting their money. Tito Duran says, would I be invited? Listen, I don't know what you guys think of me. Like, that's one of the biggest problems. Like, I've thought about this before. Like, oh, who would be allowed in and who would not be allowed in? I wouldn't be doing things like that. All right? It would be just a normal country that people can come in. We would set up a government. We would set up the rules. We'd set it up, and we'd go like that. Right off the bat, I would have everything central. I'd have everything built around blockchain, our voting system, and everything else like that to ensure transparency. There would be no kings. I would not be a king. And to be very honest with you guys, like I could literally see a situation where you guys are given the opportunity to vote for the president, and I would, if I ran, I might actually lose the election, and I would be perfectly fine with that. All right? I don't know what you think of me. I understand that a lot of people want leaders, but I'm not that tyrant. I'm not that Sandman. I'm not the king of MGTOW. I'm not a MGTOW anymore. I'm not trying to be your king. I'm just trying to share my knowledge, and I want every man to lead their own lives and lead a happy life. Because guys, our lives are short. Our lives are so short. So short. Life is short. It really is short. And for many of us, that life is going to be over before we know it. And trying to find some happiness within our lives is all we really can do. I'm being so honest. But, I've said this before, that money can't buy happiness, but it could sure as heck facilitate it. So I advocate for everyone going out and getting money, getting wealth, acquiring wealth and resources so that they can live a higher quality life. But don't get me wrong. Like, for example, guys, like this whole doll thing, like the doll diddlers, if you want to have a relationship with a doll, that's up to you. But I'm going to be honest with you. The way I'm looking at things right now, I'm beginning to, I'm just being honest with you. Like, I just completely feel like there are elements to what's happened in our world right now where all the blame for the system should not be placed on the foot of one specific group of people. All right? I look at these, there's There are so many people, all right, that created, that pushed and advocated for the system that we have today in place. All right. So you need to understand that. And then you've got these things like the doll diddlers that are totally pushing this whole concept of dolls. Guys, let me tell you something about these silicone dolls. All right. Honest guy, it just isn't what you think. And you know, I look at TFM today and his behavior, and I will say that it's like even his thumbnails and just the way he behaves is sick. It's sickening to me. That, I mean, like some of the things he's been doing lately, like helped to push me towards saying, yeah, I'm done with the label. I'm done with the labels, because like I'm just disgusted. Like I don't want to be mixed up with that. You know, for example, there's a bunch of legal things that you guys need to know about the so-called MGTOW community too. For example, like TFM, DDJ, these guys have done some really bad things for, like, evidently. I mean, we're talking about doxing, harassing. TFM literally came after me in real. TFM and DDJ came after me in real life. And DDJ tried to dox me. Yeah, guys, DDJ tried to dox me. I mean, he literally tracked my office, he tracked my business, he tracked my office, he tracked everything. Tried to track me. Yes, you heard me right. Okay? And TFM literally destroyed business deals that I've been working on. It's been pretty bad. Groundwork for the metaphysics of MGTOW. I suspect he hacked my site, because he said that he was a blockchain developer and he's working on his own blockchain, and he suddenly disappeared. And I've reached out to him before, but I hired an attorney. I actually had to hire an attorney to try to deal with Marcus, and it was so frightening because the attorney was literally paranoid over Marcus. Groundworks for the metaphysics of MGTOW. I'm telling you the absolute truth. I hired an attorney to deal with him, and the attorney basically said that we're going to have to take him to court to stop him because this guy is insane. Did you hear me right? Because he said that nothing he can do at this point, cease and desist, all of that stuff, it's not going to work. Yes, I literally had this guy, and I literally hired an attorney to deal with groundworks for the metaphysics of MGTOW. And the attorney, after getting involved, basically sent over a list of other attorneys that I needed to choose from to take him to court. All right? This is how bad things got with groundworks for the metaphysics of MGTOW. So you need to understand, these guys that you're dealing with in the so-called MGTOW community, these guys they've taken it to this whole other crazy level. You guys should be afraid to even be associated with this crap right now. Okay? Let me tell you something else. TFM has gone after a number of people. I mean, literally tried to destroy their lives. From people like Alexander Grace to researchers in real life like Bradford Wilcox. He's made enemy guys. Like, he's made some really bad enemies. There's a guy named Bradford Wilcox, and I know his research partner. I actually had him on a video, and it's so funny because, it's interesting how I can still communicate with people and talk to them, and even though we don't share the same views, we can still get along. But then at the same time, this researcher Bradford Wilcox, who's pretty well known and big in the industry right now in like public health, mental research, he's like furious over TFM. Literally furious. It's bad. It's really, really bad. Really bad. Okay? TFM has made he has done some terrible things. And DDJ, they were evidently a part of this whole docs brigade. I mean, don't forget that they went as far as trying to screw us with the SEC, and then you can see that they were talking about You see, they were talking about, oh yeah, like people were saying, oh hey Marcus, do you know what's going on with the SEC and getting them reported? And Marcus like, oh, goes out, yeah, I don't think that's gonna actually happen. I don't think they're actually doing anything illegal. It would have to be like we'd have to go after them using like some other avenue. Like it was like literally insane. So why are you doing this if you don't think that we're doing anything wrong or violating any laws? Oh, just because it's essentially like, oh, I guess I just don't like you. Guys, all of this crap is a distraction though, all right? It's a distraction. And you need to be focused on getting your money, focus on building up your funds and your resources. Because like I said, this is it for you. This is it for us, all right? You know, because I mean, we're not going to get too many other opportunities in life. We may not get any other opportunities in life, all right, like this. Like that's going to be it, okay? I don't want to be 50 trying, you know, guys, I was going to say something like, I don't want to be 50 driving a taxi, but you know, to be honest with you, that's not even going to be an option probably, because with self-driving, by the time I'd be 50 years old, if I live that long, all right, you know, which is basically 14, 15 years from now, self-driving cars may have completely replaced all Ubers or most of them. So, you know, so it won't even be feasible to become a taxi driver. Like the most crap jobs that you can think of today, like, you know, those jobs are going to be completely gone completely taken out over the next decade or next 1 decade or next 2 decades. I mean, right now, when it comes to things like retail, it's done. Retail is done. Macy's is gone. It's like Sears is gone. Sears is gone. You know, I don't really see, and only God can save Sears at this point. Macy's is shutting down numerous stores. It's doing terrible. J.C. Penney is doing terrible. They're shutting down stores. You have all these big retailers shutting down, and these are discount retailers, guys. Discount retailers are shutting down stores. Discount retailers. Why is this? And it's amazing how no one is alarmed. The largest discount retailers are shutting down stores and nearing bankruptcy, many of them. But it's all okay. Does everyone seem to forget that Toys R Us, the largest toy retailer, also collapsed? What was it, last year or the year before? I think it was last year they completely went out. Oh my gosh, it's like everyone is so completely asleep right now. Oh my gosh. You know, guys, I said before, nothing lasts forever, all right? And I'll tell you something. I could have kept on putting out MGTOW content. Could have kept on putting out that content. You know, there were months where I got like $3,000 just from streaming. And you guys know that already. You have to know that, because you'd see me get like $300 in a single day from streaming. There were months where I got like $3,000 or more than $3,000, maybe $4,000 from streaming. All right. And I want you guys to think about this, that I gave that all up. Do you think I'm stupid? Because some of you seem to think I'm stupid. All right. For walking away from MGTOW and leaving all that money on the table. Right. Because there were all these people that would happily just give me all this money just to keep talking insanity. Right. I'm not stupid, all right? I see the bigger picture. It's a distraction, and those people are completely distracted right now. And many of them, there's nothing that can be done for them because they're completely distracted, all right? The fact of the matter is that because I hit rock bottom, at least my personal rock bottom, and I never want to go back there, I know what's down there. I know what's waiting. These people, they've never been homeless. They've never hit that rock bottom. They've never experienced it. So they don't fear it. You know, they talk about the collapse and they think that they're going to be at home comfortably watching the world burn. They don't realize they're going to be out there as it's on fire. AP530 says, do you want me to answer that honestly? What? Let me see here. Tito Duran says, TFM is always saying that you need to take away the rights of the ladies, but he knows that's not exactly practical. You know what? You know what's really bugging me? I'm thinking about this. Do you guys notice that you do realize that TFM identifies as a transgendered lesbian, right? You do realize that TFM identifies as a transgendered lesbian. Now, while most people would just think, oh, well, it's just a joke, is it really? Because up to some degree, this guy literally does believe that he is a monkey, and that is his persona, okay? I'm telling you, okay? He really does. He's delusional to some point. He is. He is absolutely delusional. And, you know, sometimes you might say, well, no, he knows what he's doing. You can see that he's delusional when you observe his relationship with Celestina, all right? It's sick in my opinion. It's sick. I honestly think that it's quite sick. I think his relationship with Celestina is a disgrace. The survivalist says, is TFM an incel? I've said this before, that I suspect, like, I don't know what else to call him. Okay? I don't know what the heck it is, but that's, to be honest with you, MGTOW doesn't real, like I said, MGTOW is not real anymore. MGTOW died off years ago. When the very moment that the original philosophy of MGTOW was changed, MGTOW ceased to exist. And what you have today is just a terrible imposter that keeps on, you know, popping up, that a new imposter just keeps on popping up from. Like, you know, MGTOW is, the MGTOW philosophy, for those of you that want to know, MGTOW is about men reclaiming their masculinity and rebuilding the relationship between themselves and women. That is the definition of MGTOW. You cannot change that philosophy. But then Barbarossa and Stardust came around, and the community ushered in MGTOW 2.0, which is impossible, all right? And on their MGTOW 2.0, you know, suddenly it was about not marrying, not having children, instead focusing on self-development, which is absolute bullcrap, because a lot of these guys aren't focusing on self-development, all right? They're focusing all their time on just, you know, sitting around and talking nonsense, being angry. And then you ended up in MGTOW 3.0, which is essentially basically social, economic, and financial separation. And it's madness. It's madness. It really is madness when you think about this. Like, there's no MGTOW 3.0 and there's no MGTOW 2.0. There's only MGTOW, the original philosophy, which died many years ago. All right, when Rush V came out with this thing called neo-masculinity, it was basically essentially like MGTOW 1.0, what we call MGTOW 1.0, what real MGTOW philosophy is. And let me tell you something. From the very moment that MGTOW was created, they made a mistake. MGTOW was flawed in its design from the very moment that it was created. It was flawed in its design from the very moment it was created, because MGTOW 1.0, MGTOW is about men reclaiming their masculinity and rebuilding the relationship between themselves and women. You know what the problem with that is that it does not include women in the discussion. It puts all the accountability on men instead of going your own way, all right? You know, you can't have men basically trying to play the role of the man and the woman, okay? There are two sides to every coin. Women have, in a relationship, women have to have their role. All right, they have to have their specific role, and they have to have accountability within that role. All right, and saying that men are the ones responsible for rebuilding the relationship, wrong. Both genders would have to be accountable and work together to rebuild a relationship. That's the only way it could work. There could not be, again, you know, it's, you know, not saying one is better than the other, just different. But again, the men have a role and the women have a role, and they would have to work together. But the concept of men fixing the problem, that's literally, that is the same old traditionalist, almost gynocentric thing, where you remove accountability from women, put accountability back on men, and try to mask it as a form of masculinity, when in reality it is absolutely not. It's making men once again disposable, responsible for everything, disposable, and women essentially helpless victims in the process. You've got to be kidding me. Blood Dragon says, I think this version of MGTOW is very different than Barbarossa's MGTOW. I tell you guys, back in the old days, it was so different. When I came here, like, I got to MGTOW back like in 2000, 2009, 2010, when I first discovered it. And I didn't even know the name. When I first came across MGTOW, I didn't even know the name. I just knew who Barbarossa was. And he didn't even, like, I don't even remember if he was using the word MGTOW back then. I did not know. I literally did not know the word MGTOW. I just knew, Barbarossa was like the only guy, and he was just like putting out this content. He was teaching people about this stuff. And then Stardust came along, and and then some bad stuff happened. Barbarossa and Stardust both got doxxed. They both like took time off. Barbarossa left for a while. Stardust was gone for a while, and Sandman popped up, and then Stardust was like pissed. I remember hearing about Stardust was like so angry when Sandman popped up. Like, it's like the adults were away, and the children. It's the Sandman came out to play. Oh my gosh. Guys, like back in those days, Sandman was like a used car salesman. He was like a snake oil salesman back then. Everyone was like so angry. Like I'm telling you, like back then, oh my goodness. Like, who the heck is this guy? Oh gosh. It's funny, like, I remember Traversable said to me maybe a year ago, a while back, he goes, how does it feel, AM, to be part of the old guard? Traversable said that to me. He said, AM, how does it feel to be part of the old guard? And it's so funny, like, because it goes back so far. It really goes back so far. But the whole thing was flawed to begin with. The whole thing was flawed to begin with. We screwed up. We screwed up ever adapting the original philosophy itself, and then allowing it to become a religion, because it's not a philosophy. The fact that it just kept on changing, that's not a philosophy, that's a religion. That's a religion. It's not a philosophy, it's a religion. MGTOW became a complete and utter religion, and we're responsible for that happening. Me, others, that put this stuff out there. I could only imagine how many people I helped. And don't get me wrong, telling people to go their own way was the greatest thing I ever achieved. And telling them to live their own lives, that was a positive thing. But at the same time, like telling them to saying, don't get married, don't have children, and stuff like that. At the end of the day, you need to lead your life. I'm not telling anyone to go and get married. You need to understand what you're facing in society, all right? I wouldn't advocate for that to anyone, but you have to understand that that is up to the individual. And you have to, going your own way is supposed to going your own way it's accountability, responsibility, and it's about accountability, self-focus, and self-development, all right? And when you're accountable, that means you're also responsible for yourself. If you're accountable, you're also responsible for yourself. So it's about going your own way. It's about self-focus, self-development, and accountability for oneself. That's it. That's going your own way. There's no tenets to it. There's nothing else. And each person can do it. And the thing is, like, there's no gender specific nothing in it. All right. It's good. the very notion, like what I talked about before, that women could benefit from the MGTOW philosophy, you saw people popping up saying things like, "Oh no, it's for men." Like, what do you mean? This religion? Because I thought it was a philosophy. Oh, it's a philosophy for men. No, you mean it's a religion and a borderline cult, because that's what you've made it into. All right. Like I said, this thing that they call MGTOW today is not MGTOW. MGTOW, you cannot just change a philosophy. You cannot change a philosophy to your liking, all right? Philosophies don't change. New philosophies emerge, all right, that can be associated with old philosophies, but you cannot change a philosophy to your liking. That's a religion. That's not a philosophy. And it took me so many years to really realize it. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Tito Duran says, Sandman and his robotic voice, laugh out loud. I tell you guys, it's no joke. It's really no joke. Dysfunctional says, I went MGTOW without knowing. I always wondered why women looked at me scared back then. I didn't give me a single care, and I didn't give a single care, and was constantly weight training, etc. in 2009 through 2010. Yeah, I mean, guys, like right now, it's hard. Like right now, it's hard for me. Like you know, I've been working out. I've just been taking care of my body. I think as long as I keep going down the path I'm going down, I think I'm gonna have, you know, my optimal body by the summer, and it's gonna be great. But at the same time, it's more than it's more out of necessity, where, you know, I need to be strong so that I can get through what's coming, get through these hard economic times. You know, my body has to be strong, my mind has to be strong, my finances have to be taken care of. I'm literally like, I don't want to be out there. Like, I don't want to be in those situations, and it's so sad. Like I said, there's a lot of these so-called MGTOWs that are going to be, and they're going to be hanging right around these FEMA camps, because they like to, you know, everyone wants to be a MGTOW until it's time to work on self-development, you know, until it's time to do MGTOW stuff, and then suddenly everyone's just like vanishing, and, you know, oh, I gotta go play some video games. Yeah. You see here, Asher says, how is MGTOW a philosophy? Well, MGTOW is just a simple concept. It's a philosophy of how to, you know, it gives you a basic framework for living. That's all MGTOW is supposed to be. The problem is that, you know, the original philosophy of MGTOW was just basically reclaiming one's masculinity and redeveloping the relationship with women. That was the original concept. That's the original concept of MGTOW, all right? And then it just kept on changing. It's truly madness. I'm telling you, it was a flawed concept from the very, very beginning. It was a flawed concept, and we just took it and we ran with it. Many of us were going through a lot of difficult things. You know, many of us were stuck in grief. You know, when you're stuck, like Barbarossa, I think he was going through grief at the time. As I'm thinking about it now, because many of you don't remember those early videos, I think he was going through grief, you know? I think he was going through grief, and after he got out of that grief, things changed for him. And he was able to move forward in his life. Bachelor Cloud says MGTOW is just bachelorhood. It's not. It's not. MGTOW is, see, here's the thing. MGTOW is not just bachelorhood. Bachelorhood is bachelorhood. Bachelorhood is bachelorhood. All right? You want to say MGTOW is supposed to just be bachelorhood, but the people who are part of this, there's all these different factions. All right? And there's all these different factions pulling and weaving. All right? It's I'm telling you guys right now, like I said, if you're smart, drop the label. Just go your own way. Drop the label. Drop the label. There's nothing in it label, I'm telling you. It's so funny because you're going to have these guys saying that Angry was sent on his way. Good riddance to him. And the funny thing is, you're going to see a lot more people doing the exact same thing I'm doing, little by little. some guys saying, yeah, I don't want to be associated with this. I'm just going to go my own way. Let me see what you guys are saying. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But what I do know, guys, is that you should be learning about crypto. You should be working on your crypto game. All right? Because it's going to be rough out there. Not a joke. Serious out there. It'll be a nightmare out there. Right? If you don't want to end up on one of Norse's very difficult labor ships, then you need to learn this stuff, right? Because just looking at the chat, I can see that you guys don't understand crypto. A lot of you do not understand crypto at all. You don't. You think you understand it, you don't understand it at all. And some of you are going to say something like years later, like, oh, well, that wasn't in place back then. Yes, it was. You just did not understand crypto at all. All right? And it's absolutely sad. But please don't complain years later if you miss out on the opportunity. Please take the accountability and say, I failed to learn this. I failed to utilize the opportunity. I did it. Don't blame anyone else when you miss out on the opportunity, because I just can't stand it. And please don't blame TFM. Don't blame them. Okay? You made the choice, because there's a lot of people who are going to say, well, TFM told me not to do it. Cryptocurrency 101. This is the course. It's on cryptomoney.academy. $100, all right? And by the end of this course, you'll end up learning a lot. You're going to learn how crypto works, how to purchase and use crypto, how to store it in different kinds of crypto. You can look at the full curriculum, which is massive. I've gone through this with you already. What is cryptocurrency? Distributed ledger. What gives cryptocurrency value? How is cryptocurrency created? How to store cryptocurrency. That goes into things like hardware wallets, paper wallets, cold storage. You need to know those things. Using crypto and purchasing cryptocurrency, introduction to decentralized applications, crypto and the Internet of Things, initial coin offerings, very important one. And different kinds of crypto. Like I said, that's where a lot of people don't understand the different kinds of crypto. That's why people, this whole thing about crypto is going to consolidate. You need to understand the different kinds of crypto and the reasons why crypto is not going to consolidate the way you think it is. All right, there's going to be, like I said, there may end up being millions of, in the future, there will be anywhere from tens of thousands to millions of different cryptocurrencies or crypto assets. That's what we'll call them, crypto assets. All right, like for example, crypto coins as we see them today the term may actually end up dissipating, but it'll become something else, like crypto bits or something along the line. Again, I know. Again, you have to understand that cryptocurrency is just a name for these bits. All right. But these are all initiated through what we call smart contracts, and you guys need to understand the concept of these smart contracts, because they're what basically give us this transparency, but also give us the ability to use crypto in these amazing ways and generate different units for different things. It's incredible. So you're going to learn about that. You'll learn crypto investing strategies, and you learn the importance of consistency and persistence. This course is going to go up very soon. It's going to go up to about $500. This is, this course, if you're taking it at university, it would cost thousands. I've made it $100 for you guys, but it's going to be going up very, very soon. Very, very soon. So don't sleep on that. And also don't forget that there's only 3 spots left on Patreon right now for the crypto tier. There's only 3 spots left on the crypto tier right now on Patreon. So if you have not signed up to the crypto tier yet, there's only 3 spots left for the $30 crypto tier, crypto and wealth building tips. I've been putting in a lot of work on that, and you even get support on there. For example, you can actually message me, message me once a month. You can message a basic question, an advanced, send me an advanced question, and that's something that is huge. Absolutely huge, because a lot of people get lost in cryptocurrency. So that's something that you guys have. Let me see what we have here. Link Neuron says, if you do nothing else, learn how to buy and sell a few $20 slots of very time crypto. These can save you or buy you time if a major currency goes down. He's right. Yeah, but here's again, like I said, a lot of you are having a hard time just wrapping your head around cryptocurrency. You need to get a foundation. You need the foundation. All right. So, like I said, go and get the course. Thomas Boyd says we will be paying bills with crypto soon. I don't know if you guys heard this, but I forget if one of this state just basically passed a bill to allow people to pay their taxes with cryptocurrency. I forgot what state it is in the US. They passed a bill that now allows people to pay their bills using cryptocurrency, pay their taxes using cryptocurrency. Oh, but cryptocurrency has no intrinsic value. You can now pay your taxes in one state using cryptocurrency. Your taxes. When you can pay your taxes using cryptocurrency, you have to be out of your mind to think that it's not extremely valuable. You know what you know why why the state's doing it? Because they see that the writing is on the wall, and they're going to get all that cryptocurrency. They're trying to stock up on crypto right now. Just to let you know, they're trying to stock up on crypto right now. They don't want the useless fiat. They don't want the useless greenback. They want crypto, baby. They want crypto. So that they're getting in early now, so that basically they'll basically collect as much crypto as they can. And then when the collapse hits, the fiat dies off, and crypto is shooting up to the sky, you're gonna end up with these states that have like a nest egg of like tens of billions, maybe $100 billion or more, as a result of them collecting those funds in crypto. And not only that, you're gonna have people moving to those states because they can make it with that. All right, and without the private key that's being stored on that wallet, they can never get access to that crypto. All right, and that's assuming they could even find your hardware wallet. Another interesting point is that you could also just memorize the private key and then destroy any record of it. So now you have the private key stored in your brain, and the only place that private key physically exists other than being encrypted onto the blockchain is in your brain. All right, so feasibly speaking, whatever cryptocurrency is stored in the wallet on the blockchain, technically, as close as it can get, exists within your brain at this moment. All right, so you're literally walking around with anywhere from $100 to maybe even $100 million in your brain. Think about that very, very carefully. Paladin says the institutional whales are manipulating prices. They are. They're buying up as much as they can. Russia is buying up Bitcoin right now, and they're looking to make Bitcoin the new standard as they completely move away from the US dollar. AP says the government can do anything, especially if it's digital. With cryptocurrency, no. With cryptocurrency, they can't, because you have to understand that it's decentralized. Because it's decentralized, it makes it that much more difficult because it uses public consensus. In other words, there's multiple nodes. Now, if governments can gain control of 51% of the nodes, then they could potentially take over. But again, with something like Bitcoin that is massively decentralized, that becomes even more difficult. With something like IOTA that works in a completely different way, where you have to send one transaction, you have to verify 2 transactions. That's another level of decentralization. Not only is the blockchain evolving, there are new variations of the blockchain, or there's new technology emerging that is similar to blockchain, but not specifically the exact same as blockchain. It has, some of it offers, like IOTA offers benefits, but it also has limitations that they're working around because there are differences. Again, it's very, very important to understand this. So, the government's going to be between a rock and a hard place, all right? And central banks trying to introduce their own cryptocurrency is going to be difficult in the sense that, I'll put it this way, no one's going to trust it. You know, the fiat currency going down to zero, where you literally, people who had like $20,000, you know, or $100,000 or $1,000,000 that they worked their entire lives to save, and let's say that, you know, they're able to get it out of the bank. Guess what? It doesn't matter. The value of it is still nothing. All right. Like I said, the money is worth less than the paper it's printed on, and they cannot redeem it for crypto. They're completely screwed. Okay. After that happens, no one's going to want to use coins issued by the central bank. No one's going to want to trust cryptocurrency issued by a central bank. And the problem with that is that the central bank is not going to want to make they're not going to want to make they're not going to want to make the code available. See, one of the common things in cryptocurrency is that you make the code available so people can review the code and determine if there's anything in there, if there's any security flaws, or if there's anything in the code that could potentially compromise the stability, the network, or cause people to lose their funds. Because there's malicious things that could be put in there, like, oh, you know, designed to track people's purchases and send that back to a centralized server. So, you know, and obviously the government, they're not, you know, central banks, they're going to want to track crypto. They're going to want to be able to track how you spend the crypto. They're going to want to be able to track, you know, where it's at. They're going to want to be able to build a million different security features into it. And the thing about a central bank cryptocurrency is that a central bank cryptocurrency would not truly be a cryptocurrency. It kind of is, but then it really isn't. Because the concept with a cryptocurrency is that you can have multiple nodes from independent governments. A central bank cryptocurrency would potentially not be the nodes for a central bank cryptocurrency would not be hosted by private entities. They'd be hosted by the central banks themselves, multiple central banks spread across the world. So you'd have the central banks verifying central bank transactions. I want you to think about that very carefully. Central banks verifying central bank transactions just on a larger scale. All right? And while it does offer some layer of transparency, if the blockchain is public, again, this is centralized, and if they don't release the code for that, then you could literally end up in a situation where they could basically take your money away. No one's going to trust a central bank cryptocurrency that they could basically put anything in there and snatch your funds away or find out how you're spending your money, okay? Versus using Bitcoin, that's simply not possible with, unless they know that it actually belongs to you. Oh, Dr. MGTOW says, just got off work. Cryptopia got hacked and all my crypto was there. Sorry to hear that, bro. Sorry. Guys, listen to me. All right, so for example, Cryptopia just got hacked, right? Cryptopia just got hacked. That's an exchange, and a lot of people don't understand this. I've actually said, like I said, you should if you have not purchased, you do need to purchase the guide, the course that I've built, because you need to learn something very important. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. All right, and that's why you need to learn how to utilize these different storage options. All right, and understand exchanges. Because if you don't, then you can end up taking massive risk. MDVA says, what's up, Angry? What's going on, bro? Thomas Boyd says, Rothschilds invested in Litecoin. Well, if you think that's the case, then guess what? There's actually a foundation, and I've actually been talking about some very important cryptocurrencies on my Patreon, and a lot of people have invested in them. Quite a few of you guys have invested in them, and some of you invested quite a lot of money. I'm telling you that you don't want to be left out. If you're not, there's only three spots left on the $30 tier on Patreon. So if you want to, on the crypto and wealth building tier, so if you wanted to be on a part of that, you should go and become a part of that now before it's gone. Because the next tier up is $50, and there's only 3 spots left on the $30 tier. So once those are gone, you're gonna have to spend $50 to get access to the $30 tier content. But you'll also get some other stuff on the 50. I think Nature Monk went with the $50 tier anyway on his own. So it's not terrible, but yeah. The Survivalist says, I have a wallet, but still have not purchased any yet. Survivalist, you may have a wallet, but do you understand how you're actually using that wallet? Do you understand where you should be purchasing your coins from? You really need to understand the foundation, all right? Like I said, dude, if you haven't done it yet, go and look at the course. Check it out. You can basically see, you can at least see what, what's there. But you have to be so careful with this, all right? Especially with buying from exchanges, because you can get screwed very easily if you don't know where to store your funds or to store your or what exchanges to trust or not, because they can be there's a lot of fly-by-night exchanges. Dr. MGTOW says, I plan on investing in Cardano. Nature Monk is in the chat. Nature Monk is a happy guy, isn't he? Dysfunctional is talking to that comment was left to Dr. MGTOW. Guys, I told you I just drank this giant cup of coffee. Just put down this giant cup of coffee right now. I'm like, so it's not bad, I filled it up and put a lot in there, so like, okay, I tell you guys, hard work. Nothing good comes easy in life. You gotta work hard for it. Oh, guys, so just to let you know, someone just upgraded to someone that was on the $10 tier, just upgraded to the $30 tier. There is only 2, guys. There are only 2. You read my lips. 2 spots left on the $30 crypto and wealth building tier. Only 2 spots left. There were a total of 30 of them. There's only 2 left right now, guys. I'm just saying to you, like, no more time. I gave you guys like plenty of opportunities, because like obviously people are really loving this tier, and I've been getting messages about it, like saying like, oh, so this is what's going on, because you've literally done like what 4 or 5 updates today. Like, yeah, because you guys get a lot. You get a ton on there. You're getting hundreds of dollars worth of value on there. Just put it that way. Let me look at the chat. AP530 says it very well. Don't invest real money until you know what you're doing. Exactly. But the problem is that right now is the time to be investing. Okay? So you need to figure out, you need to learn what you need to figure it out, all right? And trying to read guides on the internet. Some of those guides on the internet, they'll tell you you got to be careful with those guys on the internet. For example, imagine you go to a website, you know nothing about cryptocurrency, and they tell you something like, okay, so this address is the default core address where cryptocurrency is going to be sent to. So you're gonna enter this address, and then you enter your public address. All right, so you're gonna have, it's like, literally there will be people who will get fooled into sending their Bitcoin or sending their Ethereum or their other coins to someone else's address, believing that they needed to enter this address and initiate the transaction like this first before they do this. Guys, I lost like $400 in the beginning when I was working with cryptocurrency. All right. Like one of these guys totally fooled me on an exchange because I did not know what I was doing. And I covered that in the course for you guys, all right? I've been working with cryptocurrency for a couple of years now. I developed 2 different cryptocurrencies. I run my own cryptocurrency company, regardless of what you want to think of it, all right? And I'm telling you, as a person who has expertise in the field of cryptocurrency, don't screw around with it, all right? Don't screw around with it. If you don't take the course, if you do not take the course and you go and something happens, please don't pop up in the chat saying that, AM, you told me this, blah, blah, blah. Did you take the course? No, because I already knew how to buy crypto. Obviously, you did not. Obviously, you did not know. You did not know. Because you only think that you know, but you don't know. You think you know, but you don't know. Dr. MGTOW says, is my ETN gone for good? If it was stored on Cryptopia and you're not able to get back into Cryptopia, Yes, it's gone for good. Unless, well, possibly. So, for example, we have to wait and see what happens with the exchange. So, so what may end up happening with Cryptopia's exchange is that they may end up filing for bankruptcy. If they file for bankruptcy, then what will end up happening is the exchange, the assets would be basically the assets would be frozen. So your ETN would be frozen on the exchange, and then and then they would make a handful of decisions. Now, if they're dealing with cryptocurrencies that basically have so little value that no one wants to trade them, they might return those cryptos. Although it also seems it's highly possible they won't. All the assets on the exchange would be frozen, and the way it would work is like this. They would basically first have to compensate their debtors. So, for example, like anyone, like any let's say they owe, and they probably do have debt. All these people have debt. They'll have to like pay their bank loans. Like, so let's say they owe banks like $1 million in debt. Like they have $1 million in debt, or a couple $1 million. So the assets, they would basically hire someone or hire a company or a law firm to take control of the assets of Cryptopia, your assets, any remaining assets on there. And then they would basically begin liquidating those assets. That's how they've actually been doing with other stuff, like Bitcoin that has been stolen. So they would begin liquidating those assets on other exchanges. They would hire, and they would have someone or someone's working to liquidate those assets. And like they've done that in Japan, for example, and the government's done that. And then any money recovered from those liquidated assets would first have to go back to pay creditors, debtors, so anyone that they owe money to. And then after the debtors are paid, after the creditors are paid, then the executives and the employees are paid. So the executives would have to get their share first. Yes, this is how it works. And then if anything is left over after the creditors have been paid, and then the CEO and all of those people and the employees, right down to the guy in the mailroom, after that, if there's anything left over, there won't be. Then and only then will what's left over go towards reimbursing the customers who lost their money. That's how it works. That's how it works, all right? Now, do you see, guys? How would you see? Here's the funny thing. Most of you would never, if I didn't tell you this, you would never have known what was going to happen to your money in Cryptopia, all right? You would never know what was going to happen to your money. That's why I said that. Like, with the $30 tier, you get access to this knowledge. You get access to this field of knowledge where you can ask those kinds of questions. Because if you ask someone that had just like come into the space, even some of these blockchain developers, they couldn't answer that question. Because I've been around the block so many times, I know the deal. All right, I know the lingo. I know the technical and I know the legal aspects and implications of this. I work with a lot of other developers as well. They work for me more so. They work for me. Now, what do you think? See, guys, I always say love God, get money. It's not a joke. I'll tell you right now, it's not a joke. Especially when it's cold outside. Let me tell you something about those streets, boys. When the streets are cold, you don't want to be out there. You don't want to be on those cold streets, the cold sidewalks. You don't want to be out there, boys. I'm telling y'all right now. I've been out there, and I don't like that life. I'm not about that. I'm not about that life anymore. All right, and I don't think a lot of you could survive that. Especially like the whole FEMA camp thing, where like two go in, only one comes out. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm telling you that right now. Two go in, only one comes out. No, thank you. I'm not, there's like crazy people like Indominus that are like looking forward to this, like going in there, like, well, you guys, if you're for normal people that just want to live their lives, I'm telling you, you don't want to be in those kinds of places. You don't want to be in these situations. All right. Like I said, I know, it is what it is. You all have to make sacrifice. We all have to make sacrifices in life. And that's really all there is to it. Let me see what Dr. McDuff says. Someone says, I hope it wasn't an inside job. It could very well have been an inside job. Dr. McDuff says, I heard Monero is real good. Monero is a pretty good coin. Like I said, Monero is a good coin. It's funny how people didn't realize it. Link Neuron says, so during bankruptcy, the strong feed first. Customers are not strong enough to sue independently. Class action lawsuits are for that though. Oh my gosh, Link Neurons, I don't think you understand. Class action lawsuits wouldn't work. A class action lawsuit against Cryptopia or any other corporation would work because the structure of this is how, oh my goodness. The way that the legal system works is like this. What I described to you is the legal system at work, okay? So, oh guys, so we gotta, so there's another person just joined on, joined the $30 tier. There is only one, guys, there is only one spot. Oh my gosh, guys, there's only one spot left on the $30 tier, guys. There is now only one spot left on the $30 tier. Wow. Guys, there's only one spot left on the $30 tier now. And then after that, you're gonna have to pay $50 to get access to the content of that $30 tier. One spot, MG. One spot left, guys. One spot left. Like, you don't want to go to FEMA, that's what it is. You don't want to go to FEMA. Guys, I was talking to a bit of Brit, and I was telling her about the whole FEMA thing, and she was like, huh? You really think that's going to happen? I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you, a lot of people are asleep. I told her, I'm like, Brittany, you're asleep. It's like, Brittany, you're asleep. You're not awake, you're asleep. You know? You're asleep. Your plan is like not good. Like, it's a lot of people are asleep. Like, you just like, you tell them like, and then you explain it to them. They're like, really? Really? Yeah, obviously. Like, if you've not been paying attention. Link Neuron says, oh, so the law would say that the job is done and leave the customers hanging. I see, exactly. Yes, that's what I'm saying, Link Neuron. That's how the law works. The law works that's how the court system works when with the district lawsuits you guys want to. If there's no money, there's no money. All right? That's how the legal system works. They have the law on their side. You know, that's how it works. Dysfunctional says, Angry, I couldn't stop laughing when you said they're at FEMA and Tyrone looking at you and you're looking at him and he's looking at you. I don't even, oh my goodness, I don't even remember saying that. Let me read that again. Dysfunctional says, Angry, I couldn't stop laughing when you said that they're at FEMA and Tyrone was looking at you and you're looking at him and he's looking at you. God, I don't even remember saying that, but it sounds funny as heck. Dr. MGTOW says, what should I do to avoid FEMA? Well, go to, actually, guys, I actually posted there's actually on the $30 tier, on the crypto and wealth building tier, I just posted an entire list of how to, of prepping for the collapse, like prepping and how to prep for it and how to also make a profit during it, all right? How to prep for it and profit during it. So there's actually an entire list that I worked hard on, that I built for those, how you can prep, how you can profit off it as well and survive that situation. Stockpiling medicine, not a good idea. All right? There's only a handful of medicines you would want to keep laying around. Certain antibiotics, antifungal things, but what you really are going to want to do is it's going to come down to things like food and water, and then there's specific kinds of foods such as non-perishables, and from those non-perishables there's also specific kinds of non-perishables. Like I said, there's the list actually explains this to you. The guide, it's a guide, and it's on Patreon right now for the people who are in the $30 tier and above, so you can go and check that out and read that. Best to escape having some passport issues. Yeah, guys, all of that stuff is explained in the $30 tier, in that $30 tier. Like I said, in the crypto and wealth building tier, I knew, like, it's so funny. Like, you guys are here, like, asking what the heck do we do? It's right there for you. All right, I did all the work. Dysfunctional says, Angry, for real. That was some funny stuff. You might have been drunk when you said it, Lowell. I know a massive Tyrone guy called John John Boy he's picking up ladies left and right and turning them to, oh my goodness, I can't say that on stream. Bachelor Cloud says a solar generator. I tell you guys, life is something else. Life is interesting. Oh, guys, well, we got one more we just got another $30 patron. Just so you guys know, the crypto tier is now sold out. The crypto tier is now, guys, it's sold out. The crypto tier is now sold out. My gosh, the crypto tier is now sold out. And on the Ascended fan, guys, there are two slots. So the $50 tier above the crypto tier only has 10 slots. It only has 10, and there's already 2 people on there. So there's only 8 spots available on the Ascended spot. Oh my goodness, you guys need to, if you missed out on the crypto tier, there's only 8 spots left right now on the $50 tier. Nature Monk got one of them earlier, and somebody else got the second one. All right, and there's only 10 of those. There's only 10 in total, and there's only 8 spots left available before it's sold out. All right, and if you miss out on the $50 tier, the only one above that is the $100 tier, which only has 10 of those. Guys, yeah. All I'm saying is don't screw around. So guys, yeah, go get yourself on that $50 tier quickly. There's only 8 spots available. That's on the $50 tier. Crypto tier is already sold out. There was this one guy who dropped out today. I was like, bro, oh my gosh. And now he's like, he can't get back on. He just like screwed. Like he literally lost his spot on the $30 tier. And if he comes back now, he's gonna have to jump onto at least the $50 tier. That's if the $50 tier does not completely fill up. There's only 8 spots available. I didn't know. I knew that there was a new Nature Monk was on it, but somebody else already has that plan as well. All right, jeez, guys, I told you it's not. But this is not a game. This is not a game. This is real life. This is real life, guys. This is real life. It's getting serious. It's getting really serious. Guys, I told you, I was making around $3,000 to $4,000 a month just streaming and talking nonsense, all right? So think about it carefully. I gave that up. I gave up $3,000 to $4,000 a month. $3,000 to $4,000 a month just sitting on these streams talking nonsense to you. And you guys would see me making that kind of money, all right? So think about the fact that I gave up all of that because I know better. You should really start thinking about that now. That what would drive a man to give up that kind of money? And you have to understand that, you know, my predictions have been very, very accurate. All right, like I said, don't fool around. And guys, and I mean, you're gonna get a lot of great information there, but don't forget about the course. Don't forget about the course on cryptomoney.academy. Go and take the course. Go and take that course because it's going to be going up very, very soon. The price of it is going to be going up very, very soon. And I'll be announcing the price increase very, very soon for you guys. Bachelor Cloud says it's as strong as a 22-liter LR. Dr. MGTOW says I've had a taser for 4 years. Oh my goodness. Okay. Dysfunctional says, angry. Also, my doctor wants to refer me to psychotherapy. Psychotherapy, aka psychologist, about my health issues. I said quack therapy. She started laughing, thinking, should I go for it? You mean hooking up with her? I know you're not seriously thinking about going to therapy. She said she started laughing. Like, I mean, if you mean like hooking up with your doctor, that's between you and her. I mean, there's some ethical guidelines there. If you mean going to psychotherapy, then you know, maybe you need to get your head checked because you'd have to be crazy to go to that place. Like that's something like you would have to be crazy to go to therapy. Knowing what you know, you'd have to be crazy to go to therapy. All right. So if you're crazy, then go for it. Otherwise, but like I said, maybe you meant hooking up with your doctor. I didn't know. Maybe you meant hooking up with her. I did. You know, you didn't mean actually going for it. You meant hooking up with her, not actually going to go see one of those quacks. All right. You've got to be kidding me. All right, guys. You walk in. It's like walking in. You walk in with a headache and you leave with a tumor. That's the best way. Guys, that's the best way to describe therapy, you know, to describe psychotherapy. You walk in with a headache, you leave with a tumor. That's the best way to describe it. AP530 says, what's the $50 tier got over the $30 tier? Actually, a lot. So you're asking what the $50 tier has over the $30 tier. The $50 tier is actually pretty sweet. Nature Monk went for the $50 tier instead of the $30 tier in the first place. And I'll tell you what, you know, if you go to patreon.com/AngryMGTOW, the link is in the description of the video, you can see exactly what the $50 tier has. But I'll go over it with you very quickly because you're asking so nicely. My phone allows me to. Let me see if I can pull it up. All right, there we go. All right, so yeah, I'll tell you about the $50 tier. Okay, so it's called Ascended Fan. The $50 tier, basically, this is the coaching tier. So I will actually coach you and motivate you. So you're going to get special messages from me that are going to coach you. You're going to get a monthly coaching list of goals. So you're going to get a list of goals of what you're supposed to do. It's really good. You're going to receive that. What you're supposed to achieve. You're going to receive special information, and I'll also give you a one-on-one 10-minute conversation each and every single month. So that is, like I said, that's why there's only 10 of them. All right, this is the $50 tier. $50 tier, like, I mean, honestly, it's kind of hell for me. The $50 tier is kind of hell for me because you're getting so much from that tier. So it's a great tier. You know, it's a great tier. It's just kind of hell for me. That's why there's only 10 of them. Shoot, so I'm kind of like thinking like, ah, oh, shoot, I should have made them 5. Made it 5. Let me see here. AP530 says, darn, I was going to do the $30 tier tomorrow because I had to buy a credit card at Walmart. Oh my gosh, bro. I told, you know... You see what I'm talking about, guys? I literally said, like, guys, for days now, I told you guys, go and sign up for the $30 tier. And now AP530 is like complaining in the chat, like, oh, darn it. I told you, you know, that's why, like, be accountable for your actions. Like, you made the decision to wait it out, all right? Oh, well, I was kind of waiting for some money to pop up. Oh, well, did you have the money to do it? I did, but, you know, I figured I had a little bit of time. Guys, whenever we're dealing with money, all right? Whenever we're talking about money, you don't fool around, because if you're fooling around, somebody else is getting it. Somebody else is getting it, right? Somebody else is getting it. Look at that tier, the $30 tier, all gone. There were 30 spots open at $30 a piece. All of them are now gone. I want you to think about that. All of them are now gone, just like that. All right? And there's only 10 more spots. Now there's only 8 more spots available on the $50 tier. 8. Okay? But like I said, the $50 tier is a pain in the butt for me because I have to really work. The $50 tier, I have to really work my butt off on that one because you guys are getting coaching sessions. You guys are getting a lot of, with the $50 tier, I'm very, very hands-on with you guys. So, I mean, it's actually a very good tier, but, you know, like, Link Neuron says, "Mad money, man. That is, yeah." The survivalist says, "I am 19 Delta and 31 Quebec." What the heck? Dr. MGTOW says, "Just arrived home and gave my doll a kiss." Oh my gosh. Link Neuron says, Angry, show them this is less than a minute video. It's a Star Trek preview of the FEMA camps called Sanctuary District. Oh gosh, I don't want it, to be honest with you. I'm like actually trying to avoid showing the videos on this channel right now, because like I said, I'm trying to keep this channel active for you guys. Okay, so I'll tell you what happened. This channel was originally terminated by YouTube. The channel you're watching right now was originally terminated by YouTube, and it was terminated for nonsense, literal nonsense. And I appealed the termination, and they denied it. And this is how I'll tell you how I ended up getting my channel back. There are special people that actually can have the power to fix the issues. I'm actually going to create, you know what, I will create a video. I'm going to make a special video explaining this as well, you know, about the process to get your channel back. There are actually special people that can actually help you to get your channel back that work for Google, work for YouTube. And I actually was able to, I reached out to, you know, I'll put it this way. There's some that work for, that they volunteer for the position, and then there's some that are actually Google employees. The person who got my channel back, this channel that you're on right now, was actually gotten back by a person who works at Google. Okay, they literally had to take it all the way up the ladder at Google to get the channel back. And then I got an email one day after like waiting 4 months, like, oh, your channel was reinstated. After further review, your channel was reinstated. And that was just basically it. There was no explanation for why, for anything, just like that. So that's the process. But here's what's interesting. Originally, this channel was denied monetization. Now it's monetized. So yeah, after all of that, after everything that happened, they actually added the channel to the partner program. Like last week, they added it to the partner program. Last week, they actually added this channel to the partner program. And every single video on this channel right now is actually monetized. So, you know, again, I'm just gonna kind of leave it as it is and just like try to keep this channel, you know, a place for discussing wealth and crypto wealth building tips for you guys. This way you'll have it as a resource. And like I said, eventually if I go up to making $30 a day on this channel for my videos, right now the channel makes about $2 to $3 a day. If you guys want to know how much this channel is making right now, it's making like $2 to $3 a day, but I only have like 4 or 5, I only have like 5 videos on the channel. I have like 5 videos on the channel, and those 5 or 6 videos are generating about $2 or $3 a day. But over the course of a month or a couple of months, within a month or so, depending on the number of videos that I put on here, the channel will start generating potentially upwards of $10 and then $30 a day. So once it starts generating around $30 a day, you have to do the math. $30 a day by 30 days, that's $900, okay? So once it starts generating $30 a day, that's $900 over the course of a month, and that's passive income. That is $1,000 in passive income. Don't forget that I showed you the other channel that I had where, you know, I used to make $4,000 a month on YouTube before the whole adpocalypse, all right? So it's quite feasible. I can actually have this channel as an alternate stream of using it as an alternate stream of passive income, as long as I just keep all that radical stuff away from it, you know, MGTOW and all that stuff. As long as I keep it away from it, I can keep on using this channel as a point of passive income. And you know, I'm just basically teaching you guys how to build wealth and how to secure your resources. So I think that's the best thing to do right now. That's why I said that, you know, again, when it comes to YouTube, you could either try to go against the grain or you can use it to your advantage. And at the end of the day, you know, my other videos are hosted on my own private host right now, and patrons are getting access to that. Actually, something interesting. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Here's something interesting for you guys. So all the old videos that used to be on YouTube, like on this channel, they're actually going to be available to the $30 tier patrons. I didn't even announce it yet. I think I only told Mickey Turner. Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. So basically all the videos that were all the videos that were available here, that were previously available on this channel, all of those videos are going to be available to the $30 patron members. Because I have somebody who like, you know, does the videos, like backs them up and everything, and moves them over to the hosting service, and he finished it really quickly. So those videos are going to be available to only the $30 patron tier members. Like I said, you like every, like I you know, it's my, I guess it was my fault for not announcing it, but I mean, I just like got he did it so quickly. And yeah, so that's, like I said, guys, the $30 tier is lit. The $30 tier is lit. The $50 tier is very good too. The $50 tier is incredible too. Go and get on this, like, I would literally tell you right now, go and get on this $50 tier ASAP, because there's only 8 spots left on that tier. Like, go and get on the $50 tier ASAP. There's only 8 spots left on that tier. This is not a game. Kryptonic Viking. I like that. See that, guys? MGTOW Viking just changed his name to Kryptonic Viking. He says, I changed my name to Kryptonic Viking so I can upload videos with no controversy. Now you're using your head. Guys, do you see that? Now you're using your head. You're throwing away the labels. You're throwing away labels. And now that's how you operate, guys. You already know who you are. You already know what you mean, what you're trying to achieve in life. You do not need a label, all right? Think about this carefully. Jesus came to earth, all right? Regardless of if you want to believe, just hear me out. Jesus came to earth. He taught people a simple philosophy, and Jesus, you know, historically, there's a lot of proof proving he lived, and he taught people a simple philosophy of how to live. And what did they do? They built an entire religion around it, tried to name it after him, and this so-called religion is responsible for some of the greatest catastrophes in our history. All right, I mean, think about that very carefully. It's the same, you know, look at what happened with MGTOW. You know, it was a simple concept that literally became a religion, an ever-changing religion. I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, that there was a time in history, I recall learning in school, where, you know, the Catholic Church, I think it was the Catholic Church, they would allow people to pay money to save their loved ones, to have their loved ones taken out of Tartarus, okay? Taken out of, like, save them from Tartarus. You know what I'm referring to by saying Tartarus, okay? I mean, think about that very carefully. They're like, oh, your loved ones, you know where they are right now, but if you pay the low fee of 500 gold pieces, we can save them and take them out and move them up to heaven. Think about this actually happened, all right? Like, this is what I heard. Actually, like, it was crazy, okay? And the same thing, you know, they just kept moving the goalpost. Like, you know, think about the concept of purgatory. Like, there was no purgatory before, right? And then they said, oh, now there's a purgatory. So all of a sudden, your family and friends that were like, either they were in one or the other, now they're in purgatory. They're possibly in purgatory. Like, I mean, like, how crazy do you have to be? You know, that's the reason why I don't use any religious labels anymore. I just say I'm a believer. I say I believe in and love the Lord Jesus Christ, and that's it. But I don't go with any labels anymore, just like I dropped the MGTOW label. And I'm very, very happy that I dropped the label, because the label was not doing anything for me. It was holding me back, and it was confining me to this toxic group. And you're probably going to see some other content creators dropping it eventually. Although a lot of these guys right now, like I said, they're making, you know, they make money from MGTOW. A lot of these guys, they make money from MGTOW. But if you notice that I transitioned away from it, I transitioned away from, you know, saying, okay, you give me money and I'll make MGTOW content, to saying, I'm going to discuss crypto and wealth building. This is about self-development, all right? And I transitioned away from it. I gave up the money. I'm not saying I'm not making money now, but I'm definitely not, you know, guys, you used to see it. I come on here, I make $300 a stream. I make $300 a stream. $300 a stream. Make $4,000 a month, maybe $5,000 a month. All right? Just between all the donations and everything. And I gave that all up. You need to think about that. Either I'm crazy or I'm on to something. All right? Those guys, when I created Red Pill Coin, almost 2 years, like, shoot, my goodness, it's been so long now. The whole idea was that, the whole Patreon debacle was coming, all right? And it was basically to insulate us from that whole Patreon debacle. Bachelor Cloud says, religion is cancer. It is. Dr. MGTOW says, forget about religion. I agree entirely. Dysfunctional says, angry. Should I switch my name? I thought of something better. Dude, if you want to switch your name, definitely go for it. Just don't make it something controversial. Don't make your name something that is going to bring attention to you. All right? Like, guys, don't bring attention. Don't bring attention to yourself. All right? You don't need to bring attention to yourself. So if you thought of something better, like what MGTOW Viking did, he took off the MGTOW and just added, Kryptonic, all right? Something like that. And now he's going to be able to fly better under the radar. Okay, guys, think about this. I had like most of the videos on the channel were completely demonetized. Now all the videos on the channel are monetized, and I'm in the partner program. I got rid of the MGTOW label, and there you go. Here's something interesting. The last channel, the MGTOW Planet channel, they denied allowing in. I forget if they allowed that channel isn't going to get into the partner program. All right, you got the word MGTOW in there. Nope. All right, nope. Demon No Doubt says, I unsubscribed from most MGTOW channels about a month ago. I'm going to be honest with you guys. When it comes to my relationship with women right now, being in relationships, I'll put it this way. My thought about this is, I'm not stupid, and I'm aware of where society is right now, but you have to remember that it didn't get here on its own. There were a lot of people that pushed it in this direction and manipulated the situation in this direction and brought us to this point that we are currently in. And it's so funny that, yes, there's a lot of corruption right now, tons of corruption. But what worries me is the fact that the same people that are complaining about the corruption, it seems like their answer to the corruption is more corruption. Like literally like, oh, well, they have the right to do this, so we need the rights too. I mentioned that you're going to have the MRAs. The MRAs are not trying to change anything. They're trying to expand things. The MRAs, for example, they're not trying to reform welfare. They're demanding welfare. They're not trying to reform the legal system. They're demanding rights within the legal system, okay? Think about that very carefully. They're not trying to do, they're not trying to save the lives of the unborn. They're trying to shirk the responsibility of being responsible for the unborn. It's terrible. It is terrible. All right. Paul Elam. It took me a little while to understand why he was advocating for this. Paul Elam was advocating, if I recall, constantly over and over and over that men need to get yearly checks, genital checks, right? And here's the thing about this, that type of cancer is very, very rare. Lance Armstrong had it. It's very, very rare in men. And even when it's caught, in most cases, when it's caught, it's completely curable. It can be very fatal, but it's very, very rare. In the case of Lance Armstrong, for example, evidently, it turned out that he was actually using substances, and those substances are actually related to having a severe effect on that region of the body, and his cancer was potentially very, very potentially caused by the substances he was using at that time. But Paul Elam is like, oh, well, men need to have these yearly checks, when in reality, no, they don't. They really don't. You can do, in fact, you can do the checks yourself. You can actually learn how to do that. You don't need to have the yearly check. You can do the check yourself. Here's the funny thing about all of this. You know the reason why he's advocating for this? The reason why he's advocating for it is because women get a yearly check for, they get a yearly check called a pap smear, and the pap smear is basically there to make sure that they don't get cervical, to ensure if they have the symptoms of cervical cancer. Cervical cancer is a very, very serious condition. It's a horror. It's terrible. It is truly terrible. I honestly think it's like saying which one is worse than the other. Cervical cancer is horrible. It is a terrible, terrible thing. From what I understand, I mean, I had a coworker, his mother had it, and she passed away from it. And oh my gosh, it is like, young women don't truly understand what cervical cancer actually is. They don't. Like, we talk about breast cancer funding. Cervical cancer is frightening. It is truly a frightening thing. After learning about it, I studied, I have a master's in health also. It is one of the cancers that is just truly terrible. And you can't compare cervical cancer to testicular cancer. You can't. And that's what Paul Elam is trying to do. And his reasoning for this is because he wants insurance company. He basically wants men to be insured for this to be covered. Basically, it's like their version of like men's health care. Because you know what he wants is he wants like men's hospitals, right? The problem with men's hospitals is no one would go, all right? Because men don't use the healthcare system the same way women do. We just don't. There are men's clinics, but a men's hospital wouldn't work because women want specialized care, and that's why you have women's hospitals. Men, on the other hand, don't use the healthcare system in that way. And let me explain something. You don't want men's hospitals either. You don't want special hospitals designed and built for men, because that would only run up the cost of healthcare even further. You do not want men to suddenly start doing these things and literally clogging up the healthcare system. Now, don't get me wrong. The government, private organizations, they would love this. Okay, because it creates more debt and it's more money, and you'll end up with more men spending more money and that for unnecessary visits to the doctor. Okay, but it's terrible for the economy. Don't forget that the average woman over the course of her life will leave like something over a $200,000 deficit on the economy. The average man will leave a surplus on the economy over the course of his life. If the average man starts leaving a deficit, you have to understand that there's no more country. There's no more country. Like that's it. If the behavioral patterns of men start emulating the behavioral patterns of women, because men basically accrue wealth, women are accruing debt. If men start accruing debt on the economy, then that's the end of it. That's the end of the country. Do you understand that? It's like it's over. It's absolutely over. That's the reason why you need to have a country with strong men. Okay? Oh my gosh. Let me see here. Cardio, neuro, okay. 500 gigabyte hard drive. It's so funny, guys. It's so funny because, like I said, before I would have had like over 200 people on here. It'd be like over 200 people here watching the video. Now, much. But I will say this. So I'll tell you guys something interesting. The crypto course has, let me see. So within 5 days, it came out on Sunday. The crypto course in 5 days has done about $1,100 in sales. Okay, so the crypto course right now, it has done $1,100 in sales in just 5 days. 5 days, $1,100 in sales. Did you hear me? The crypto course has done $1,100 in sales. I'm actually going to begin putting together another course for you guys that is going to teach you, like I said, how to create your own courses. Find out what you're good at, find out what you enjoy doing. I'm going to show you, because I remember there were people like, how do I, I don't have any skills. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you. I'm going to prove to you have skills. I'm going to show you how to find what you're capable of doing, what you can teach, and I'm going to teach you extensively in that course how to do it, okay? Because like I said, when you succeed, I succeed. And at the end of the day, I'll admit, I feel, on one hand, I don't want to beat myself up. On one hand, I think that there were some positive things that I did when I was a part of the MGTOW community. But on the other hand, I made mistakes. I definitely led a lot of guys down the path of anger and maybe even some destructive behavior, and I own that. I have to own it, so I don't want to call this my penance, but this is at least some way of moving forward and putting something out there that will actually help to truly enrich the lives of men and make their lives better. And of course, I'm not doing it for free. I'm still making an income, but it's and over time, I'm leaving it to God. Hopefully it'll be like, where I'm making $1,000 a day or something close. But, right now I've lost money by dropping out of the MGTOW community, but a lot. But, God's good. God is good. At least I'm doing all right overall. I'm going to teach you guys how to build your own courses. I'm going to teach you guys how to do fan funding. Because fan funding is a big thing. Like, you think fan funding is a joke? I'm gonna be putting together a video like showing how much I make from Patreon, how much I make. You guys already know how much I've made on YouTube. Right now I'm not making anything, but I've made up to $4,000 a month, more than that, almost $6,000 during the holiday season in 1 month. And I'm gonna be showing you how all the different areas of income that I'm utilizing, and also the others that I'm expanding into. And I'm gonna show you everything. I'm gonna show you how much money I've pulled in from the course. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna teach you how to design your course. I'm gonna teach you how to do it for free also, or damn near. For example, I am a web developer, so I was able to build the entire thing myself. I was able to build the initial course myself, but I'm going to teach you how to go about doing this. I'm going to provide you with all the resources needed to do that in that course, like teaching you how to build your own course. The course itself, though, is probably going to be pretty costly, because it's going to be very, very extensive. It's going to be very, very in depth, but it's going to give you all the resources that you need to create your own course business. All right. So when you take this course, I'm going to build a course. When you take this course, you are going to get the resources you need to build your own course business. All right? To build your own course business. Like I said, over the course of the last 5 days, I have made $1,100 in sales from the cryptocurrency course. Okay? Over the last 5 days, since Sunday, I've made it's been $1,100 from the cryptocurrency course. And the great thing about the course is that I can update it on the fly. And it took a lot of work to develop it, but now that the course is working, it's actually passive income. Think about it. It is passive income that I'm making from that course. All right? And I'm getting almost 100% of that $100. It's like, so, I mean, that's a lot of money. That's a good amount of money. It's right there. And think about it, it's still very new. It's a brand new course still, and I'm still working on advertising it and getting it out there. But it did over $1,000 in less than a week, right? Paladin says you are very ahead of the curve. Are you talking about me? Let's see here. I don't know. Maybe you were, but I do like to think I am ahead of the curve. I don't know if that comment was meant for me, but like I said, the whole Patreon thing. I saw it happening. I talked about it extensively like 2 years ago. that this was going to happen. They were going to, you know what the next step for MGTOW is on YouTube, right? The next step is going to be literally removing MGTOW channels. Literally removing MGTOW channels, because they literally, you know, MGTOW is actually listed as it's considered a borderline, I don't want to use the word, they consider it a gender separatist group. All right, there's like big discussions at Google about MGTOW, and like I said, after the whole thing with Lisa Ling, where Big John basically, you know, expressed his big laugh, you know, now like virtually every MGTOW channel is demonetized. They're going to begin removing the channels from YouTube, just to be clear, because again, it's already, many of these channels, technically speaking, already are almost violate the guidelines of MGTOW, so of YouTube, and they're adding more and more policies like external link policy. They're adding a new external link system where if you link to things like, for example, all right, let me give you a good example. So for example, you have a channel that links to a MGTOW site, like MGTOW.com, and MGTOW.com is considered like a site that hosts what they would characterize as hate speech. You can then get a strike, an external link strike on your channel for linking to that, and it carries the same weight, from what I understand, I think, as like a community guideline strike or similar. I forget if that strike remains for 2 months or 3 months. I think it may be 2, maybe a little bit shorter. But yeah, and if you get 3 of those strikes, your channel can and will be terminated. Welcome, all right? So, you know, separating yourself from the label, trust me, it's a good move in that sense. And you've got all these people using it right now. They're doing pretty crazy things. I'm actually glad I did. I'm glad that even though my income has taken a hit, God has helped me in so many other ways, helping to rebuild that. And in the long-term prospect, there's a lot of area for growth. You know, there's 33 of you guys listening right now. It's crazy that, there would have been over 200 before, but, a lot of those guys were just posers. Like, they don't want to work on self-development. They don't want to work on building wealth. It's interesting. Like, look at what I'm showing you guys. Like, I'm showing, like, you're looking at me right now, and you're seeing what I'm doing. You're seeing how I'm building wealth right now, how I'm building passive income. All right. So you're seeing that it's working. I'm sure as I'm doing it, you're seeing it. All right. So it's real. It's not fake. And then, but then at the same time, you've got these guys who just don't care. They would spend $300 on a stream where I'm just ranting, but they will not spend that money and invest in themselves so that they can live better lives, so they can live higher quality lives. And these guys aren't rich. You've got guys dropping hundreds of dollars, and they're not rich. They just enjoy. This type of thing, like the ranting, it just like feeds their soul. It gives them some type of validation or satisfaction. But it's really just it's basically grief. It's grief entertainment. That's what I should call it. It's grief entertainment. It's the best way to describe it. It's grief entertainment. It's just basically validating their grief and feeding them more of it. And it's a useless thing to do. And again, I own up to the things I've done. I was dealing with my own stuff, but it does not make it right. But at least I've been able to take corrective action right now. So there's that. Everyone's perfect, and at least I got to this stage, right? 9101 Nomad says, I remember your angry streams a few years ago, and you shoot, and I remember you were always so worked up and out of breath. Yeah, yep, yeah. So I was literally like, and then I start going again, and like it's so funny because like I'm like literally about to I'm about to, what's the word, expire on the streams, and people are dropping more money like, yo, keep it going, bro, keep it going. You better not end it. I need this. It was like a hit. It was like a type of hit for these guys, you know? It was like a type of hit for them. Let me see here. We read some more of this stuff. The survivalist says they are taking a different walk. They want the quick answer or an instant answer. Let me see here. Bachelor Cloud says monks are so cool. They live a minimalism lifestyle. Look, you know something about monks? You have to be careful. Like even the monk lifestyle, you have to understand that the monks, it's problematic. For example, we talk about monks, but the monks are, you know, the monks, they are not, that lifestyle that they live is not representative of Buddhism, of the philosophy that Buddha taught us. You know, I studied Buddhism, and the problem with Buddhism is that Buddhism, I don't even think it relates to the core philosophy that the Buddha taught us. You have to actually like go to the actual core philosophy. I read a book about it once, and the core philosophy is something different. The clothing and the ceremonies and all of that, sure, maybe it does make some sense why they do it, but it's not a part of the core concept or core beliefs of it. It's the real truth. It's the truth. It's the honest truth. So you've got to be careful. Like that's why it's best to go your own way and to live your life the way you choose to live it and make your own decisions for yourself. Choose if you want, you know, life comes with risk and rewards. That's the honest to goodness truth. That's life. Risk and rewards. And I'm just going to be honest with you. This whole doll, like I said, this doll thing, after seeing the level, like where TFM went with the whole doll thing, I just can't look at dolls the same anymore. Because I'm just, I would call it, I want to use the word creeped out. I just can't. I just can't. It's just not my thing. Just not my thing. All right? You know, there's always that one guy. There's always that one guy that messes it up for everyone. You know that, guys? There's always that one guy that messes it up for everyone. Dysfunctional says he's back. His mom was shouting at him. Oh my gosh. Let me see here. Guys, don't you think it's better though? Like it's not having, you know, it's better learning. We're spending our time. We're here. You're learning how to improve yourselves. You're learning about self-development. We're not using our energy for nonsense anymore. I mean, it's still great. Like those of you that are back, that are still active on the channel, it's great. I mean, I look at, like, think about Teehee. Where has Teehee been? You know, think about that. He, like, you know, now that the anger is not flowing, you know, gone. Dr. MGTOW says TFM went too far. Dr. MGTOW, that is an understatement. I don't know if you were here the entire time. Like I said, he went so far. He went too far a long time ago, and then he just kept on going. You know, like I used to say very radical stuff, and people thought that I was the worst. TFM actually did, like, he did like things that could potentially be, he did like criminal activity, okay? He did like criminal, like some things were borderline criminal activity, and other things were like, you know, more like, that's like you're entering that territory of criminal activity. Criminal. Him and DDJ. I mean, I could have sworn I heard like DDJ was being like the bar association in like Washington State was coming after him. I remember, I don't know if it was a lie or true. All kinds of crazy stuff happened. It wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me. Let me see here. Read. Someone says buying a $100 one. 52 1K. Oh, you're gonna buy you're gonna get yourself a doll. Like I said, guys, you know, listen to me. I'm telling you guys, be careful with those things. At the end of the day, as men, we were not designed for that. And I'm telling you this. And if you look at what's happening with these guys who are doing this, they're simply taking the dolls and then turning around and becoming gynocentric for the dolls. They're just, guys, they're falling in love. falling in love. I want you to think about that very carefully. All right? This is not good. This is really not good. It's sick. It really is sick. This is, what has happened to a lot of men is not good. It's been extraordinary hardship, but I'm beginning to think to myself, like, what are we going, what do you end up becoming? I think that, like, you have a couple of choices. You could either try to find a relationship or choose celibacy. But I'm like, and I'm not saying get married, but yeah, the whole doll diddling, I'm completely backing away from it. I'm literally backing away from the doll and the bots. I'm backing away from them. I'm backing away from them. I'm backing away hard from them. I mean, can you imagine the media like picking up on the stuff that TFM has been doing? And like some of the thumbnail, like, guys, it's scary. Like, it's quite depraved. I don't know if like people have been looking at how badly he's been behaving. He's been behaving really, really badly. Ay 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 ay. AP 530 says Big John is taking a break from his channel. Taking a break. Survivalist says, cannot get into this doll mess. It is too weird. It's awful what's happening, but yeah, yeah, exactly. Far better than dolls. Guys, it's exactly like I said. Your best options, either find a relationship or go celibate. Don't go for the dolls. All right, I'm telling you. Either meet someone or get or and again, I'm not I we all understand the risk versus reward, or go celibate. That's, if you like, you have to decide what's right for you, but I'm just like telling you from a psychological aspect. And if I make a lot of predictions, and I'm telling you, I could have went down that path as well, and I'm seeing it right now. I was stuck in a place of grief for a number of years, and I promoted a lot of this stuff. And now that I'm out of that place of grief, I'm seeing things so much more clearly, and I'm realizing, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. One good thing that I did do, like, for example, I'm actually happy that I established a good relationship with that researcher that has partnered with what's his name, with Bradford Wilcox, because TFM has made such enemies in the research community. Like, I mean, like, he's literally made enemies, and he's made enemies in the research community. And you don't want to make enemies in the research community. Granted, yes, there could be people there who are like, what's the wording I'm looking for? Snobbish. But he hasn't even tried to reach out or to settle the situation. He's just ugh. He can't. I don't know what the guy's doing. He's lost it. Dr. MGTOW says, come on, AM, dolls are greater than. Listen to me. They aren't. You have to understand something. They aren't. All right? They really aren't. Trust me. It's you think that, what happened. I'm going to tell you the reason why. The reason why is because as men, as a lot of men, we've stopped seeing seeing them as our other halves, and we stop seeing their humanity because of what's happened to us. And as a result of that, we only see objects now. We don't see people. We stop seeing people, and that's why we end up going for dolls, because the dolls end up we see objects instead of people, and we basically say, we look at them as a tangible, concrete thing that can be utilized for specific functions. That's one thing about being a man. We use logic. Our minds are very logical and rational. The thing is, though, once you once you leave that grief phase and you start seeing them as people again, regardless of what has happened and everything, you suddenly also start seeing other things differently, like, oh my gosh, that thing is really creepy. And then you start looking around at people who are doing it themselves. And it's not just TFM, there's other guys, and their brains are like, these guys are developing like a mental, I don't know what to characterize it as, but they're falling in love with an inanimate object. You don't understand that. They're falling in love with an inanimate object. It is not alive, it is not living, it is not real, but they are beginning to believe that it is real, that it is a real person. It is a real person, or it has the capacity of a real person. Do you understand the danger of that? All right, it's not good. It's absolutely not good. You develop a level of delusion that can, I suspect, could expand into other areas of your life, because if you can convince yourself that an inanimate object is equivalent to a living, breathing person, then you can convince yourself of a many other things. Think about this. Think about what I'm saying very carefully. If an inanimate object can become psychologically the same or superior to a living, breathing person, imagine the other things that you can convince your brain of doing, or you can be convinced of doing by others. And now you start to see things like, when you think about that and really get it, at least for me, I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I need to take a quick step back. I'm just going to take a quick step back. Let me see here. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, but anyway, guys, like I said, don't forget to go and pick up this course. Don't forget to pick up the course. I'm gonna be putting up other courses for you like real soon. Like I said, I'm gonna work on that large course. I'm gonna work on the course that shows. I'm gonna work on the large course that shows you how to build your own course. That course is gonna be around $500 right off the bat. That's gonna be the starting price for it, and it's gonna move up to probably around $1,000 to $2,000. Teaching you how to build your own course. It's going. Not only is going to take a lot of work. I'm going to be teaching you how to build your own course business, not how to just put your content on Udemy or Teachable, although I will explain how to use those services as well. I'm going to be teaching you how to build your own course system, how to build and how to do it on a budget as well, how to find people to help you. And in fact, I might even offer a service for you guys if you need it, to help you build your own, to have the website built for you and all that other stuff. I can do that as well. I can or set you up with some team members, with people that I know that can handle it. So the fact that you have that resource in me is helpful, because you'll be able to set up your business that way. So I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on that, teaching you guys that course system, teaching you not how to build your own online course, and not only how to build it, but how to figure out what you should make your course about, how to do your research and find out what the current market is for these types of, for that type of course, what other people are earning. That's an option. And also don't forget that if you're a member, if you're a $30 tier member on Patreon or above, you can send me an email, you can send me a message, and I can answer. You can ask me those specific questions, like to do an evaluation of like, okay, so I want to create a course, and but I don't know what I should do, or I have an idea, but I don't know how feasible it is. And I can look into it for you. I can do the research, and we can come up with a bit of an analysis to determine what the feasibility is, what the demand for it is, and whether it's a good idea or if you should try something else. Sometimes it could be it could be an entirely new ocean, or maybe there's not a large market for it, but it's a very niche. It's a small niche, but there's no one filling that niche. Hence, you would have it all to yourself. And the thing about niches is that niches can grow. So there's a lot there. There's a lot there that we can do. But I'm going to work on that course for you, teaching you guys how to build your own course like the one that you're seeing right here. This course has made over $1,000 in just 5 days. The last 5 days, this course has made over $1,000. Think of that as you will. All right, and I have not done a ton of marketing for it either. I have done zero marketing for this course on things like I've done zero marketing for this course outside of YouTube or posting it on my Patreon. Just to let you know how effective this course has been. I have done zero marketing for this course outside of posting, outside of discussing it here on YouTube with 20 people watching right now, and posting it on Patreon. Okay, I've done zero marketing. I have not paid for any ads. I haven't done any of that. All right, I have not actually started. I'm still working on the marketing process right now. Outside of just talking it to you guys here, we've already done over $1,000 in 5 days. All right, so you I'm going to show you. I'll show you my numbers, so you can replicate the success. Not only, and here's where things get really good with this. So for example, this course that you guys are seeing right here, people can pay using PayPal, or they can pay using credit cards, right? Using almost any credit card. So ask yourself, how do you do that? I actually set up a credit card processor. You heard me right. There's a credit card processor that you guys can now use just like that to use any credit card. So now this business is running itself. All right, there's no reason why people can't make a payment. They have all the payment options they need. They have, it's really good. Okay, it's very, very good. But a lot of people would not know how to do that. A lot of sites like this, a lot of programs like this, they only accept PayPal. Okay, and I was able to actually set up a processor very quickly, literally just very, very quickly. I'm going to teach you guys how to do all of that. All right, you're going to learn how to do all of that in the course. Like I said, the course is going to be about $500. Maybe I'll work on it. I'll start putting it together. And if I put in the hard work, I could have it done by, I would give myself until next week, although I could probably blow it out of the water. And I'll get that course up for you, and we'll see how the demand goes, because it's going to take a lot of work out of me to develop the course. But it should definitely be worth it for you guys, because you guys can then start building your own wealth, and it'll be incredible knowing that, you know, seeing you guys build wealth, grow your wealth. It'll be incredible seeing that, because knowing that I've been able to actually make a real contribution in your lives, instead of just, you know, giving you content that puts a temporary smile on your face. I can know that I contributed towards, you know, your livelihood and improving your wealth and your outlook and your happiness, real change in your life. Not listening to some angry ranting. You know, it's fun. It's fun and all, but come on, what the heck did I really achieve doing any of that? You know, I mean, I gave people what they wanted, and I was paid to do it. I always said, like, you know, I just work here, and I did. And at the end of the day, look at what happened. People left when I didn't give them what they wanted anymore. I'm going to give you something else. I'm going to give you knowledge. All right. And they're like, yeah, we don't want that. I'm like, guys, we're going to give you money. Yeah, I'm happy. Just, this is equivalent to money. Yeah, I'm just going to stay here and twiddle my fingers and, you know, sip my drink while everything's kind of going down poorly outside. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, you're gonna end up out there yourself. But you know, they're so far gone and lost in their own frustration and their anger and their self. I don't know. I don't want to call it depreciation, but they're a place between grieving and I don't want to say maybe docile. They're like a place between them and the incels, where they're just not, I don't know, I don't even want to say they're not awake. They're just kind of given up. They're just kind of given up, and they're just doing whatever makes them like, it's almost like the beautiful ones in the Mouse Utopia experiment. I just realized, like, yeah, the MGTOWs are almost like the beautiful ones in the Mouse Utopia experiment. The behavior is becoming very much like these guys, when you notice that there's a significant number of MGTOWs who are not doing anything. They won't actually go out there and try to work. They're basically docile. They basically eat, sleep, groom themselves, and they do the bare minimum to survive. And when I say the bare minimum, I mean the bare minimum. They have no problem with giving up large amounts of their resources which are limited, if it provides them with a quick dopamine rush. It's definitely terrible. Definitely terrible. You see what you guys are saying on chat. I think Dr. MGTOW is going. He says, I've only dated 8. Okay. The degradation. All right. Well, anyway, guys. So you've seen it. You've seen the course. You know where the course is. It's the course for cryptocurrency course is on. It's cryptomoney.academy. So if you haven't taken the course, go and take the introduction course. I'm going to begin working on the course, teaching you guys how to build your own course and how to figure out what course you should build. And like I said, hopefully that course will do well. It's going to be about $500, but I'm hopeful that you guys will be able to take it and to really build your own business using it. It's not just going to be, oh, well, here's how you're going to build your course. I'm going to teach you guys not only I'm going to teach you how the software that you can use. I'm going to teach you how I did it myself and what other options you have out there. I'm going to include information on the credit card processors, processing payments. I'm going to give you all the pieces that you need to succeed. And if you need even more help, such as to help with the technical side of it, I will provide that as well. Of course, at an additional fee, but I will be here to provide that, or at least refer you to someone who can help. Right? That is pretty darn good. All right, how long have I even been streaming is a good question. I have like no idea how long I've been streaming here for. So it says live for 2 hours, but it feels like I've been going for longer than 2 hours. It really feels. Let me see here. Yeah, I've been going for over 3 hours. There we go. Yeah, I've been streaming for over 3 hours right now. Over 3 hours. 911 Nomad says this is better than any college. Bro, you have no idea. That is such a smart statement. You have no idea. No idea. Oh my gosh. College, it's basically this like thing that they put together. It's like one of the biggest jokes the boomers ever played on the millennials, because most of these people never went to college. And then, they create these colleges that are basically used to extract wealth and resources from the millennials for the rest of their lives. Options for it says Angry. This is like Angry's University. Actually, it's something funny. I actually looked into the possibility of making the crypto courses certified. So that's something I am looking at, is getting them certified for you guys if it's possible later on. And who knows, maybe somebody will buy out the program, because it is an academy. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go right now, but love God, get money, and cheers.